95.9 HKFM, the greatest hits of all time.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. You never take advice. Someday you'll pay the price. I know. I've seen it before. It happens all the time. You're closing the door. You leave the world behind. You're digging for gold. You're throwing away a fortune and feelings, but someday you'll pay. You're as cold as ice.
Broadcasting from the Ad Astra Radio Studios. Your station for the greatest hits of all time. KWHK Hutchinson, 95.9 HKFM.
The following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Stay tuned for exclusive coverage of Bueller Crusader football on Oldies 95.9 HKFM. Crusader football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app. Coming up, the Midway Motors drive to the game as Aaron West and Chris Schenk break down tonight's matchup.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hutch are proud supporters of high school sports. And of course, we are proud to support our community any way we can. Good luck to all of our athletes this season. We hope you have a fun and memorable and most of all, healthy season. Be safe. Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the giant corner of Lorraine and 30th in Hutch or online 24/7 at allensamuelshutch.com. Come by. Let's be friends.
Well, a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Crusader football here on 95.9 HKFM. We're in Rose Hill tonight for Week 2 of the playoffs, Week 10 overall. The Crusaders take on the Rose Hill Rockets for the right to move on to the quarterfinals. These two teams meeting up for the first time since 2015. Welcome inside our Midway Motors drive to the game. Aaron West alongside Chris Schenk will be joined coming up in the broadcast by our Crusader Sports Network partners. We're streaming on the Crusader Sports Network tonight via YouTube, also on the Ad Astra Radio app. You can download that for iPhone or Android. Stream tonight's game powered by Nextech Wireless, your mobile, and need to stay connected. Online at nextechwireless.com. Bueller last week with a 47-0 shutout of the Circle Thunderbirds. A dominating performance defensively. Bueller setting a new school record, holding the T-Birds to -8 total yards, just 5 passing, and -13 rushing, while Bueller on 56 plays put up 288 yards. Sam Elliott, 23 carries, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging close to 200 per his last 7 games. A nice workmanlike night for Brad Neal at quarterback, 4 of 9 for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Chris, I think what really stands out from last week was the performance on the defensive side. They hold Circle to no first downs, 0 of 10 on third down, and they set a new school record for fewest yards allowed in a game.
And that was an ancient record that they snapped. I believe the old record goes all the way back to maybe 1960. But it was a dominating performance defensively for the Crusaders. And it was a fun team event, too, because it came down, if you remember, down to some of the sophomores out there at the very end of the game trying to prevent Circle from getting that elusive first down that they did not get, and really kind of showed some of the camaraderie of this team that they were still dialed in, still wanting to try to keep Circle off that first down board.
Something that has, I think, been a factor of note last 2 weeks. Turnovers are up, takeaways are up. 4 INTs the last 2 weeks, and that's something that's been a little bit of a concern this year for the coaches. Is they've been on the wrong side of that takeaway giveaway ratio, so that good to see things starting to trend in the right direction there.
Well, and it was neat, too, to see the Crusaders not only get some takeaways but score off them. You know, last week we had the Ty on the interception return for a touchdown, the pick six. And so, yeah, it was good to see the Crusaders really play. That first half last week against Circle was just a well-played game, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
Yeah. INTs for Levi Perez and Cameron Campbell. Campbell returned his 90 yards for a touchdown. And he talked with us Monday night on the coaches show about that particular play.
So we're just basically playing our regular defense. Had a great game all night, and then the ball gets snapped, and then next thing I know, the ball's going through the air, and I just have the opportunity to pick it off, and then it just seems like everyone stops for a second, and then I'm just running down the sideline, hoping somebody doesn't catch me from behind.
And asked Cameron kind of, what's going through your mind at that point? Where are you at once you have the ball? And, does everything else get blocked out? And he said he actually thought he was going to get caught at one point.
Just focus straight ahead and just run as fast as you can. At one point, I thought that someone was going to, try to get me on the foot or something because they were really close to me on the sideline. And then that never happened. I was in the end zone.
Really showed Christopher his athletic ability and his speed in space with the ball, and does a fantastic return.
Oh, it was an excellent return, and the thing, he really didn't make many hesitations. I mean, once he got that pick, he just rocketed down that far sideline. And I know, Tyler, you talked a lot about just that top-end speed that the Campbell brothers have, and he really got to showcase it there.
Well, yeah, they're the top two fastest kids in the school, making it state their freshman year for 100-yard dash. So, I mean, that just shows their speed right there.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Cameron Campbell, his brother Deontay, of course, part of that defensive back core that we think is getting stronger and stronger, and they'll be tested against a Rose Hill team that likes to throw a lot tonight. We talked with Deontay about the team's success and what has helped them to get stronger as the years gone along.
And it's just been, we all have a mentality together, and we just work well all together. Not many mistakes besides at the beginning of the year, but we've been working better and practicing better.
I feel like something that's been an improvement of note is just you and I have talked about several times, Christopher, is the physicality where they've really kind of stepped up their game from that aspect.
Well, so much of being a D-back is timing. It's making sure that you're making contact with the potential receivers as the ball is getting there. If you get there too early, it's going to be pass interference. And if you're too tentative, then you're going to have to work on really tackling in space, which is difficult. I mean, every D-back would rather bat the ball away or hit the intended receiver right when the ball gets there. And this group has just gotten so much more physical as the time has gone on. You think back, Aaron, you compare that group of young men from the Goddard game to the last couple weeks, it isn't even comparable on how much more physical they've gotten. And you really think about it, with the exception of Levi Perez, all new starters back there on the back end of the defense. And so, it's a position that's a tough position to play, and they've just all four continued to get better as the years went on.
Absolutely. As we mentioned, again, they'll be tested here tonight if they're to make it to next week. Well, we mentioned the success of Sam Elliott. He's been just eye-popping good this year. 23 carries, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns last week. Buter doubled the time of possession on Circle, and I think that's something that will bode well in their favor as they go forward. If they can keep the ball on offense and use the running game and the clock to their advantage, that's going to help their defense.
Yeah, I mean, people always ask, what's the best way you can improve your defense? It's running the football. It has nothing to do with the defensive side. If you control time of possession and eat clock, it just takes away your opposition's possessions. It takes away the amount of plays they get. And, really one of the important things tonight for Buhler is being able to get that power run game going and consistently chewing up yards and clock tonight.
It goes to that ball control, more than 200 yards rushing in 6 of their last 7 games. And Elliott averaging close to 200 in his last 7. Quarterback-wise, mention a workmanlike effort for Bradley Neal. I think that's important. He doesn't have to have flashy success. He just has to do enough to keep the defense honest so they can run the ball like they want to.
Yeah, because if we don't establish much of a throwing game whatsoever, I mean, Rose Hill's going to load the box, but we've got to punish them tonight for loading the box. And like you said, it's just got to be efficient. We hopefully don't have to have 20 passing attempts tonight. You want it to be probably 15 or less, but try to complete probably about a 50% clip. If we can throw the ball about 50% completion rate tonight, we're going to be in great shape.
Well, I really like how they've brought in a host of different guys. They've really gotten several last 2 weeks, different guys involved in that passing game. 5 different receivers have caught passes the last 2 weeks, mixing it up, bringing in that short passing game, and I think that's only going to make them better.
Oh, yeah, the more threats you have, the more difficult it makes it to defend. I mean, we're going to look at a Rose Hill team tonight where, and we'll talk more about it later on in the pregame, where they have one receiver that it is going to run through him. And if you can slow him down, Rose Hill's going to have a little bit more difficult time. And, yeah, just distributing that ball, getting more people involved, it just makes an offense that more dynamic.
Absolutely. Well, Bueller gets the win to improve to 5-3 on the season. They are now 31-21 all-time in the postseason, and they have won their first-round game 14 of the last 15 years. They will get Rose Hill, a resurgent Rocket team, a team that not had a winning record since they won the state championship in 2011, and a much improved effort here in 2020 at 6-3, and they are playing well coming into the postseason where they have won 6 straight games. Our coverage tonight brought to you in part by HCU Investment and Insurance Services, by Newfelt's Flooring, Mid-Kansas Credit Union, by Ideatech, and by Phoenix Restoration. Plenty more coming up in our Midway Motors Drive to the Game here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Visit Midway Motors on 30th Street in Hutchinson or online at midwaymotors.com. Coming up this day in Crusader history as the Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues on HKFM.
Game day is a big deal in our house. We don't just go to watch and cheer, we live and breathe it. Our squad is full of passion, snacks, and spirit, and we needed a car that could do more than transport us. We needed to participate with us. Midway Motors helped us find the winning ride from pre-gaming to post-game celebrations and everything in between. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Find your game day car at midwaymotors.com.
Come visit us at Bueller Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have some fun and get to know you while you spend time with us. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment, or email online at drdalldds@gmail.com. Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Shoot and score with Hutch Rec Youth Basketball this winter. Hutch Rec's Youth Rec League and our new Central Kansas Basketball League for competitive teams is for 1st through 6th graders with a registration deadline of December 12th. Register online at hutchrec.com or in person at 17 East 1st. Find out more details at hutchrec.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Time for our This Day in Crusader History. We'll take you back to November the 6th of 2010. In a 39-7 win in the postseason over Abilene, Tanner Fisher carried the ball 39 times, 326 yards, and 5 touchdowns. How special was Tanner Fisher? Well, he finished his career the school record for touchdowns, points scored, and total rushing yards. And Christopher, here is a number that, kind of solidifies just how good he was. Over his high school career, he averaged 10.5 yards per carry.
Wow. When you can average a first down a carry, they always say 3 yards in a cloud of dust is a level of success. When you can more than triple that, that's pretty outstanding.
Absolutely. Tanner Fisher, big numbers in his career. That team, by the way, went 12-1. Went on to lose to the semifinals. I remember that game against Holton. We finally won at Topeka Hayden, which had been a big thorn. Finally won the week before at Topeka Hayden, and then the Holton Wildcats just had a string of teams that were so good and ended our run in the next round. But still a fantastic year, 12-1. Nothing to sneeze about, huh?
No doubt. 12 wins in a high school season is an incredible year, and yeah, you mentioned it. Holton really has had a lot of years where they've been a power year in and year out, had a lot of continuity with their coaching staff there. Of course, Roger Barta's son is the head coach and has been there for many years, and they've had sons that multiple generations of players from that family go play at K-State, and yeah, quite the program up at Holt.
Well, the Buhler Crusaders come into this game averaging 28.3 per contest. They have won back-to-back games, both against Circle, and giving up 16 on the defensive side. They'll take on a 6-3 Rose Hill team tonight. We mentioned this Rose Hill team last season just 3-6, 8 consecutive losing years. They had not had a winning season since they won the state title in 2011. Lee Weber, though, Chris has got this program turned around, a progression in his 3 years there. Here won 1 game in 2018, 3 last year, and now 6 in 2020.
Yeah, they've continued to make steps forward. Lee Weber's a guy that's been a head coach for many years. We were visiting on the way down here. You know, he's had head coaching stops in Kansas at Plainville, at Mission Valley, at Wamego, and here. And you don't continue to get head coaching jobs at the high school level unless you know what you're doing. And Coach Weber, because there for a while, you know, after Coach Slade left here, Aaron, you remember how Rose Hill just kind of got into that spot where they'd have new coach after new coach, and just it was tough for anybody to really build on that continuity that Coach Slade and success that he'd built up here.
Yeah, things got tough for a while. They run a shotgun offense, pretty balanced on the year, 52% run, 48% pass. Their tailback senior, Spencer Nolan, average is about 5.5 yards a carry, close to 1,000 yards on the season. But if I was a prognosticator, I would tell you that if Rose Hill's going to win, they're going to have to win with the arm of their quarterback. Senior Bryson Evans, 58% completion rate on the year. He's thrown for over 1,700 yards, and he has 4 different receivers that he likes to throw to that have caught 181 yards or more.
Yeah, he is a prototypical, we talked about it, he is not a runner, he's not a dual threat guy, he's a prototypical pocket passer where, you know, he's going to look to get the ball out. You know, his rushing statistics on the year are pretty paltry, so he's a guy that he's going to beat you with his arm and trying to spread around that receiving core.
So what are you going to do tonight, Coach, to get to the quarterback?
Well, you know, there's two things to deal with a great throwing team, and we'll get into the keys of the game. So you're stealing my thunder, but number one, you just got to get pressure on him. And the good thing is Coach Coles and the Black Knights traditionally over the years, they have done a great job of getting to the quarterback. And, you know, James Blick coming back last week, he had a big night. And you just look at that front four, you know, Christensen, Blick, Van Bruggen, and Coffey, they have done a good job of creating pressure. And the neat thing, Buhler gets a lot of pressure, Aaron, with just bringing 4. They do it without blitzing a lot of linebackers. And so getting that pressure, making Evans have to try to get it out quick, that's going to be really important. And one of the big reasons, it's nice that we're not having to bring linebackers. Those linebackers, I know you always talk about the short underneath routes, Aaron. Those linebackers, if they can stay in coverage, they're going to be the ones underneath to help defend against those. So if Buhler can get pressure with 4, they're going to be in good shape tonight.
Absolutely. Tall receivers on the Rose Hill side, too. They go 6 foot, 6'2", 6'2", and so our D-backs are going to be busy tonight defending them. Defensively, Rose Hill throws everything at you but the kitchen sink. You'll see them line up in a 3-man front, in a 4-man front, in a 5-man front, really trying to disguise on defense and throw the offense off.
Yeah, and anytime you can get the O-lineman having some trouble on who they're supposed to block, that's exactly what they're trying to generate with all that movement. And one of the things, too, Buhler with yet another starter on that offensive line tonight, and so that's going to be something that with a new guy up there starting, just kind of gelling up there and making sure that they talk. So it's so important for those offensive linemen as they break the huddle, as they're going to the line of scrimmage, to talk to one another so that way every man is accounted for in the blocking scheme.
This Rose Hill team does have 16 takeaways, but I feel like there's some holes in their defense, too. They've given up over 312 yards a game, 182 rushing, and so that would tell me that there are some opportunities out there.
Yeah, tonight is going to be just the classic matchup of Rose Hill's passing attack versus Buhler's ground game. And when you're a ground game team like Buhler, you want to make sure that you can get the lead and keep the lead. If it's one of those things that Rose Hill somehow gets a couple score lead and we're having to play catch up with being a running team, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
You mentioned a change at offensive line tonight in our injury update brought to you by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice. Injury attorneys helping people is their passion, serving their clients with trusted legal advice online at mannwyattattorneys.legal. So Trevor Cooper out a couple of weeks ago. We've rotated at that big tackle spot. Brian Regier got the start last week. He is not there tonight. Instead, it'll be junior Wesley Miller. And so you mentioned just the challenges of that offensive line, and they've not really been able to get that cohesion there as far as a group working together every week. So it's been different guys.
Yeah, and it's kind of the pits because Regier had done a nice job filling in as the start of the last couple weeks, but he's one of the people not able to suit up tonight due to what we're all dealing with, the good old COVID. But, yeah, Wesley Miller with a golden opportunity tonight to step in as a junior, getting his first ever start on varsity. And so hopefully he'll be able to use that opportunity to his best.
Absolutely. He'll be up there with Childs, Barnes, Gilbert, and Christensen on that line tonight. Well, we'll talk about a lot of big games around the area coming up, and we'll keep you updated on scores tonight. Just 3 other games in the West are Kansas City at Andover Central, Wamego at El Dorado, and Augusta at Mac. And I know we're eternal optimists. We're rooting for Augusta because we want to, if the Crusaders win, they'd get a home game next week. It's an intriguing matchup, Augusta at McPherson, to me. I don't know why I feel like Augusta has a chance, but obviously McPherson has to be the favorite.
Yeah, well, and you know, we were following that game a couple weeks ago really closely. I know Tyler will be following that game with his friend from Augusta tonight, but you know, when they played a couple weeks ago, you know, it was a 12-7 game for quite some time, and you know, just matchup-wise, it just seems like Augusta and McPherson, it usually tends to be a tight ball game.
Yeah, we'll see. Find out what happens there, and of course, we'll run through some other games going on here in our pregame in just a bit. Time to go armored up tonight with Coach Coles as we break down his defensive scheme, brought to you by HCU Investment and Insurance Services. Just like a good defensive game plan is key to protecting the lead on the field, HCU knows the importance of protecting your future financially. Call Monty Cross at 669-0177. You'll see a Rose Hill team tonight that is pretty balanced on offense, about 50-50 almost run versus the pass, and they do both pretty well.
Yes, they do. You know, like you say, they're a real balanced offense and like to run the ball to set up the pass. They use a variety of receivers in the pass game, and you know, their quarterback is pretty talented getting the ball out to those skill guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Nolan Spencer, hard runner, their running back. Mentioned their quarterback, Bryson Evans, who's thrown for over 1,400 yards. He's got 3 different guys that are all 6 feet or taller. So I feel like your D-backs have been preparing the last few weeks for this test, and they'll have to step up on Friday.
I would definitely agree with that. You know, you know, I've seen great improvement out of those kids in the secondary. We've got a lot more confidence now than we had, you know, earlier in the year, even mid-season, where we've really started doing things well and breaking on the ball well, getting our reads, you know, just being more comfortable, letting things roll off our back a little bit when mistakes do happen and bouncing back and doing good things. So, yeah, it's nice to see the kids grow as the season goes on, and we're in a good spot.
How much we talked earlier in the year, some of the larger lines that we faced. Tonight you're going to see some big guys up front again. How important to get off the ball well and get pressure on the quarterback.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, with their bigger offensive line, it'd be, you know, easy to get swallowed up. They pass block pretty well. They zone block really well. You know, getting off the ball quick, making quick reads, you know, really using our athleticism with our front 4, front 7. You know, it's really, but what we've been built on is that speed concept for the last few years, and that's definitely going to have to come into play this week with their size up front.
And just kudos to those guys. Quick take back to last week, -8 yards against Circle, which is a new school record. And so something special is that group can take with them that they've done that nobody else has.
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, that was we talked about it all season, about the whole team effort and, you know, the Black Knight philosophy going through scout team and every kid on the team making each other better. And what I was excited about, obviously I was excited about our starters playing the way they did, but we started rotating kids in the front 7 and in the secondary too in the third quarter. And we rolled through a lot of kids, and the last play was a tackle for loss, you know, to preserve the no first downs goal that we had and going into the game. And the kids were excited about that. But, you know, our kids that work so hard on scout team got to step up and show some really good things and be a part of that record too.
Yeah, absolutely. Takeaways up the last 2 weeks, Coach. We get to that time of year where those little things make a big difference, and so how important that going forward here in the playoffs?
It goes back to everything we've been teaching since summer. You know, the read your keys, your footwork's important. Doing the little things right, whether it be a two-tech slanting hard and redirecting with the flow, or a secondary, a DB taking his read steps and then, locating on the switch. Whatever that fundamental is, that's what you're going to fall back to in playoff time, and it all speeds up and that muscle memory kicks in. So if you've really built the fundamentals, you've got a chance to do great things.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time. Go get them on the field. Best of luck.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's our Armored Up segment tonight with Coach Coles. We're back with more right after this.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Still to come, we'll take you around the league with a look at other action in the AVCTL. And Chris Shank brings you tonight's keys to the game. The Midway Motors Drive to the Game on HKFM.
Rise Up Reno and Donna Davis want to remind you that prevention matters. Prevention is having goals, holding leadership roles, and being connected to the community.
Early prevention efforts can help us make our community and our economy better and healthier by keeping young people engaged in productive accomplishments, not addiction.
Rise Up Reno is prevention. Rise up, Reno.
With Progressive, Wade Patton Insurance will make shopping for car insurance simple. Progressive leads the way when it comes to available discounts, claim forgiveness, and customer service. We're excited to discuss how their innovative Snapshot program can potentially give you up to 30% off your premium. Progressive also is very competitive on motorcycle, boat, and RV insurance with benefits like disappearing deductibles. Wade Patton Insurance is your local Progressive insurance agency. Call us today at 662-5469 or stop in at 527 North Main for a no-stress, no-obligation quote.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And back here on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game, Crusader football tonight brought to you in part by Hutchinson Community College, by the Bueller Booster Club, Man, Wyatt, and Rice, by Prairie Bank of Kansas, and by Dix Phillips 66. A fantastic night, one of the few we may have left here late in the year weather-wise for football tonight. Our kickoff conditions brought to you by Phoenix Restoration, the company most trusted to deliver quality recovery services when disaster strikes. Call 662-0100, Mr. Adams.
Well, right now it's 63 degrees. The wind is at 7 miles per hour southeast, and the forecast is mostly clear.
All right, looking forward to a beautiful night of football. We mentioned in the 4A West, elsewhere, Augusta at top seed MAC, our Kansas City at Andover Central, the Jaguars the number 2 seed, and then Wamego at El Dorado. The East tonight has St. James Academy at Paola. They're the number 1 ranked team in 4A. Eudora at Baser Linwood. Bishop Miege, the defending champs, at Fort Scott. And Lansing at Tonganoxie. On our network tonight, games will be following include Central Plains at Caldwell, Haven at Trinity Catholic, a rematch there of district play. Big one in Garden Plain. The Owls host Hillsboro, Little River at Clifton Clyde, and Collegiate is at Cheney. And again, a reminder, all of this part of our Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship. You are mobile and need to stay connected online at nextechwireless.com. Christopher's got his keys to the game coming up, and we'll get the pregame thoughts of Coach Warner next here. The Midway Motors Drive to the Game on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Midway Motors, come join the family. Next, we hear the pregame thoughts of head coach Steve Warner as the Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues on HKFM.
Game day is a big deal in our house. We don't just go to watch and cheer, we live and breathe it. Our squad is full of passion, snacks, and spirit, and we needed a car that could do more than transport us. We needed to participate with us. Midway Motors helped us find the winning ride from pre-gaming to post-game celebrations and everything in between. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Find your game day car at midwaymotors.com.
Each and every day, WIFCO steel products are trusted to provide access and infrastructure for a wide range of purposes. For more info on what WIFCO can do for you, go to wifcosp.com. Whiffco Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Time for pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. Coach, I love November football. There's something different about the playoffs. It's really exciting.
Well, beautiful days and beautiful evenings. Great time to play, and our kids are excited. It's playoff time, and in the years past, that's when we play our best football, and so that's what we're hoping we do tonight. And the kids have been working hard. We've had a great week of practice, and now we've got to roll.
Yeah, I suppose the biggest difference this time of year is you make a mistake that costs you a game in the regular season, you can make that up next week. Not the case now. If you don't play well, you don't play next week.
And so that's a terrible feeling to even think about that, but yes, that's what happens. And I just feel like we've been improving. We had a hiccup with Wellington, and we've handled that well. And I'm hoping that we look back and talk about at the end of this season that was a game that turned us around and helped us get to what we want to be, being a very, very successful season. Hopefully, getting to the state championship game, having a chance to play one of the teams in the East, and saying, we played a lot better after Wellington. I hope that's what happens.
Rose Hill with a 6-3 record, pretty balanced on offense. You're going to need to contain their quarterback and shut down some pretty tall receivers.
They are, and they also have a very good running back. So there's a lot of concerns for our defense. They give us a lot of different formations. We have to recognize those formations, and we've got, we feel like we have a good scheme going in to stop them. And then obviously you have to make changes and adjustments as we go. And then with their defense, they give us a ton of different looks. We're going to see a lot of looks, and obviously if they can line up in something and stop us, then I think they'll stay with it. I think they're a four-man team, a four-man line team, but we've seen the five-man line a lot because that's when they need to stop people. So I think we'll see it all, and our kids are ready for that. We're this time of the season where you've seen a lot of different things, and we just have to continue to improve in the middle of the game and make adjustments.
Yeah, you've done pretty well last couple of weeks to bring in, whether it's a second tight end or those super back or extra blockers where you need them. I feel like you're pretty successful in those formations.
Well, I do, and there's some different things we're going to do tonight. We may go more spread and bring someone into the formation to help us block. We do that with Bo. We did that against McPherson. I just feel like that we need to, like I told the kids, we're not adding anything this week. We're just going to continue to throw things in that we've done throughout the year. So that's kind of the plan going in. But if we can line up in our I formation and run right at them, and they can't stop Sam, I tell you what, they're going to get a heavy dose of that too, because he's such a dynamic rusher that we don't want to get fancy. We don't have to get carried away. We want to be able to go right at him. And the other thing we like to do is get him in space on passes, flare him out, move him around a little bit, let him catch the ball in space and use his athleticism.
Absolutely. Obviously, Sam has a good night tonight. That's good for the team if you can move the ball down the field. I feel like also amplified in these games are things like penalties and turnovers. Last two games, you've turned that penalty number around, or the turnover number around, so we've got to continue to do those things.
We've done a lot better job with that, and I think that'll definitely help as long as what's nice is getting the turnovers, creating those turnovers, and that's what our kids have done. D-backs getting interceptions, flying to the ball, hitting people, getting some fumbles, and then good things happen. And obviously on offense, we have to take care of the football for sure.
All right, Coach. Well, appreciate your time. Best of luck. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
That is Coach Steve Warner with us, back with more of our pregame right after this.
You've been listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Join head coach Steve Warner for the Crusader Coaches Show, Monday nights at 6:30. The first half kickoff is coming up next. You're listening to Buhler Crusader Football on HKFM.
Hey, sports fans. All great teams include a great defensive strategy. That's what insurance is all about. Strategy to defend you, your family, and your possessions. This is Jordan Fee. I'm proud to help our clients plan their strategy of protection through the broad range of services we offer at Fee Insurance Group. Call to find out how we can protect your health, life, property, business, and even your retirement savings. Since 1883, we've been here to stand between you and risk.
Visit FeeInsuranceGroup.com, your local trusted choice agent.
Buhler Crusader Football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, the Buhler Crusaders won the coin toss. They will elect to defer to the second half. We'll get underway here momentarily. Christopher, tonight's keys to a victory.
All right, starting in order. Number one, we got to stop the Rose Hill passing attack, or at least slow it down. And 2 of the 3 losses this year for Buhler, we allowed over 300 yards passing. Big thing, Bryson Evans is not a threat to run the football, so we got to rush him, keep him under duress, and then body up on those big old receivers and bang away at him. Number 2, They've got a Division I player we have not talked about in the pregame much at all. Noah Boltikoff is heading down to TCU. He's a D tackle and a left tackle on offense, so we got to know where he's at all times. And finally, and Coach talked about it, Aaron, the Crusaders, if we can establish the run, that is key number one tonight. In all of our victories this year, if we rush for 238, we win. Sam Elliott has had games where he's gone over 238 by himself. If the Crusaders can roll up big numbers on the ground tonight, I like our chances tonight.
All right, Bueller defense up front. James Blick and Jared Christensen the tackles. Bo Van Bruggen, Dalen Coffey at the end positions. You'll see Voss and Atherton, a couple of others up there as well tonight. In the middle of the backers, Sam Elliott, Colin Rowland, Tanner Tustin, Cameron and Deontay Campbell, Levi Perez, and Mason Lipford in the secondary. Defensively for the Crusaders, who give up 16.3 points a game. 4 INTs in the last 2 weeks. And Jeffrey Neal set to kick from the 40 as we get underway with playoff round number 2 here on 95.9 HKFM, KWHK. Hutchinson short kick to the 30 and return to near the 34-yard line. Rose Hill offensively averaging 33.6 points a game. Their senior quarterback, Bryson Evans, 19 touchdowns, 8 INTs. He will occasionally throw a pick. He's thrown for over 1,700 yards. 4 different receivers that will key in on tonight: Chase Green, Trevor Kaiser, Bryce Bitzler, and Cale Kochik. In the backfield, Spencer Nolan, the leading rusher, close to 1,000 yards. Here is Evans out of the gun. In motion. 4 receivers on the first play of the game, and they hand it off to Nolan. Right side run, trying to bounce to the outside, being chased to the edge and pushed out of bounds near the 39-yard line. They marked the line of scrimmage to start at the 33, so it's a gain of 6 yards for Nolan on first down.
The Crusaders went with straight man that time, so they're trying to load the box, but one of the Crusaders, I believe it was Van Bruggen, had a chance to tackle for loss that time, but just couldn't quite get there.
All right, Rockets from their own 39 on second down. Out of the gun, Evans looking to throw, lets it go up the middle of the field. Good coverage by Sam Elliott. Ball in and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the 50-yard line, and that'll bring up third down as Elliott made a nice play on the ball.
Yeah, nice physical play. We talked about it. He's going to have the Crusaders secondary and linebackers are going to have to be active, and that's exactly what Sam did right there.
They were looking for Nolan out of the backfield over the middle. Sam in coverage. It'll be third down and 4. Back to the ground game they go, and they're going to be short of the first down across the 40 to the 42-yard line. So Nolan needed 4. He picked up 3, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Nice play made that time by Tanner Tushin as they have a 4th and 1 now. It looks like Rose Hill is going to go for it.
Well, Coach Weber doing a little bit of gambling maybe here early on. Opponents this year against the Crusaders, 5 of 18 on fourth down. Gonna watch for the quick kick here too. 4th and 1, clock running, no score just at away first quarter. Here is Evans out of the gun. They go with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, including the tight end. They'll hand it off to the edge to Nolan, who falls down right at the stick. Where did his knees go down? Looks like right at the first down marker.
I think he's going to be short. I love the official spot here on the near side. It is going to be short. The official on the far side gave him the first down. Oh, wow, they're not even going to measure. Wow.
And here comes Coach Warner out.
Yeah.
He can request a measurement, can he not?
I mean, you look at it. Okay, right now the line to gain is at the 43rd yard or 43-yard line. That ball isn't.
That is not a first down.
Wow. Wow.
The coach is very unhappy about it.
And he has a right to be.
So they give forward progress of a yard to the 43 and a first down. They convert on fourth down, and they'll hand it off. Rockets working the right side of the formation on the ground game. Forward progress to the 45 for 2 yards. So the 5th play of the drive, it'll bring up a second down and 8. Coach Warner really wanting that measurement, but the ref's not giving it to him.
Well, nowadays they're trying to speed up the game of football, and so it just doesn't seem like they measure hardly at all these days, but that was one that probably should have been.
Second down and 8. Evans works it out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Play action as they fake it. They throw out of the backfield. Little swing pass to the far side. Right at
Ball
the
out.
first down stick. Ball is loose. Bueller's got it. Picked up far side. Return to the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders.
I tell you what, a break for the Crusaders. There was a huge hit on the far side thrown by Cameron Campbell on the receiver. Now a flag is out, but luckily with how far back it is, Crusaders, I think the touchdown's going to stand. But I believe, was that Perez or was that Elliott that took it to the house?
I could not see. It was on the far side.
There's a huge hit, though, on the 48-yard line, and then after that, Bo took a clean hit on the quarterback, so he paid for that one.
Kale Kochik was the receiver who caught the pass. He was hit after a 10-yard gain, and it jarred the ball loose and picked up and returned to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
What a job by the Crusaders being heads up, and Sam Elliott being very alert over there in the flat. It was just their first completion of the night, and it comes out loose. And for the Crusaders' sake, awesome that it goes to Elliott, and he's got enough speed to take it to the house.
That is the 9th giveaway this season on the ground for the Rockets. Second defensive touchdown for the Crusaders. The TD stands as Jeffrey Neal will be on for the PAT from the 10-yard line. 9:48 to play in the first, and Bueller with a defensive score after a turnover on Rose Hill. Jeffrey Neal in the kicking game this year. Extra points, 11 of 14. His brother Brad to hold from the 10. Snap by Carson Moeller. Hold is down, kick is up and good, and Bueller on a big defensive play takes an early 7-0 lead here in Rose Hill. 7-0, 9:48 to play in the first on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Your experts in design and installation of carpet, tile, wood, and vinyl floor covering. Proudly sponsoring Bueller High School activities, Newfeld's Flooring in downtown Bueller.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, we apologize that fumble recovery and return, the old scoop and score play. It's about as far away from us on the field as you could get. We believe it was Sam Elliott, but we cannot confirm that. We will. Cannot yet. But we will confirm that.
The thing we do know, there was a big hit out there, and Cameron Campbell was one of the guys involved in that big hit. And just a heads-up play for either Perez or Elliott.
I don't even think we knew that the ball was out until they started running.
Yeah, it was a kind of a delayed whistle, but that went for the Crusaders' advantage.
And here is the kick by Neal. And it will go into the end zone for a touchback.
And the flag must have been on Rose Hill because we were kicking off from the short field that time. So Rose Hill got a personal foul after we took the return to the touchdown for 6.
So a personal foul penalty there. We mentioned the flag was out on the touchdown return. They tagged that on to the kickoff.
And nobody happier about that than Jeffrey Neal getting an easy touchback.
And we've just confirmed it was Levi Perez who returned it for the score. Here's El Dorado from their own 20 on their second drive.
Nice play, Blick.
And James Blick getting into the backfield and gets to Evans back beyond the 10. They're going to mark the knee down at the 8. So Bueller now with some momentum on the defensive side and a big sack first of the night for the Crusaders. They'll actually mark Evans down at the 10. It'll be a loss of 10.
Well, Evans is a guy that coming into tonight, he had 44 carries for just 26 yards. He's a guy that does not want to carry the football, and he just went down to 16 yards rushing on the season with that sack.
It'll be second down and 20, right hash mark. Rose Hill going left to right from their 10. First down, stick at the 30. On the ground to Nolan. Nolan cuts left and then right. He's got a big hole, has the first down at the 30. There's a flag down. 40-45. This one might be coming back. And Spencer Nolan with a big run showing his ability to the 46-yard line. But a flag is back near the 15 in the area of holding.
Yeah, Brock McCurdy in on the touchdown-saving tackle for the Crusaders. And so the hold will negate that nice run, thankfully, by Nolan. And I tell you what, the Crusaders are doing a great job of getting upfield. I mean, and the runs that Rose Hill have had success on, it's just we're over-pursuing, it looks like.
All right, that'll be a second penalty on the Rockets. And it'll move the ball back to the 6-yard line.
There's some hidden yardage right there, as that ball would have been near midfield, and now they're back to the 6. So what a harmful penalty that time for Rose Hill.
It'll be second down and 24, 8:47 to play in the first in a 7-0 game. They go with a 3-receiver set. Quarterback snaps it out of the end zone, and nothing there for Nolan, who tries right in the middle of the field, and he's going to lose 2 more yards back to the 4. So Rose Hill on 3 straight plays now going the wrong way.
James Blick is not getting blocked right now, and he did such a better job that time. You saw him get through, and then he waited for the play to develop. He didn't just go flying upfield, running past the ball carrier. So a great play defensively that time made by James Blick. He had the quarterback sack early in the drive, and now Rose Hill with a monster 3rd down.
Well, there's a guy that's hungry. We haven't talked about him as much this year as we thought we would. He's been injured some, and well, he's feeling good in the playoffs. It'll be 3rd down and 26. 4 receivers on 3rd down. Quarterback throws out of the end zone near side, and overthrown intended for Bischler here at the 10-yard line. It'll be incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and Rose Hill's going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Great job by Coffey rushing the throw that time as they rolled Evans over here to the right, and Coffey was right there. He had to unleash a little early, and Bischler's his main go-to receiver. And so right now, Rose Hill just 1 for 3 in the passing game, and that one completion ended up being a fumble and a return touchdown. So the Crusader D off to a fantastic start.
Bryce Bischler, 6'2 senior. 668 yards receiving out of the back of the end zone. Rose Hill will punt it away. Return man Brock McCurdy's going to catch it. It's returnable from the 30. Gets about 5 yards far side of the field on the Buehler sideline. It'll be driven out of bounds there, and Buehler's going to get their first chance on offense here with 7:46 to play in the first quarter. They're going to have fantastic field position at the Rose Hill 23-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, this is the first offensive play for the Crusaders. They force a couple 2 empty possessions for Rose Hill. Let's see if the Crusader offense can get it rolling here.
Right to left toward the north end zone here at Rocket Stadium. Here's Sam Elliott's first carry of the night. And forward progress up to the 21. He'll pick up 2. Sam averaging 6.1 yards a carry on the season. Just over 1,500 yards, 24 touchdowns this year. Him and Roland in the backfield. Receivers McCurdy, Coffey, Van Bruggen, and Bradley Neal, the junior quarterback, averaging 43% completion, just shy of 700 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Here's Elliott with a block to the right. Bounces to the outside. 15, 10, 5. Put him in the end zone. Touchdown. Crusaders number 25 this season for Sam Elliott.
Well, the Crusaders went with a double wing that time set and just some power football. Elliott did a great job. The hole developed to the outside. He stayed inside. Then once the hole broke open to the outside, took it around the edge. And the Crusaders, with just 2 offensive plays tonight, currently lead 13-0.
7:05 to play here in the first. Jeff Neal on for his second PAT try after the 21-yard touchdown run by Sam Elliott. Hold is good, kick is up and good, and the Crusaders lead by 2 scores. 7:05 to play, quarter number 1. Buehler 14, Rose Hill nothing on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
We're here all year at tax time or anytime to help get answers for your tax questions. Stop by H&R Block in Hutch at 2nd and Washington, on the Square in Lyons, or in downtown Ellsworth today. Get your taxes won at H&R Block.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Moundridge and Buehler. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Buhler and in Mount Ridge. Member NCUA.
Buhler Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, Sam Elliott with his 25th touchdown of the season. He came into the night 37 in his career, and that was good enough to tie him for 8th all-time, and he is now in 8th alone with 37. As the kickoff by Jeffrey Neal will angle out of bounds to the far side near the 20. We're live from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth tonight. At Allen Samuels of Hutch, they're dedicated to helping you find the make and model that suits your needs online at AllenSamuelsHutch.com. Good momentum on the side of the Crusaders here. See if they can keep it going. So far, so good. They're actually going to mark that out at the 35. So the Rockets, decent field position for their third drive of the night.
Yeah, this is their best field position of the evening. 3-yard improvement for their first drive, but they have still only completed that one pass. If you're Coach Lee Weber, they're going to really try to hit the passing game here this series.
Bryson Evans will work out of the gun. They'll line up Kochi at a wing back to the near side. 4 wide receivers on first down. They throw it slot far side, caught for a short gain of about 2 yards. See where they mark it, all the way up to the 39. So it's going to be a gain of 4. Caught by Bischler over there on the far side.
I tell you what, Cameron Campbell came to play tonight. He was in on that stop right there, hit right as the ball got delivered to the receiver. And Rose Hill just desperate to try to get some offense going there as they just complete the little pitch out.
Rockets left to right, far hash mark of the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Evans works it out of the gun. They'll go back to the ground game, and Nolan trying to bounce to the outside. No, thank you. Stopped for a loss. Back to the 37. A loss of 2 on the play on the far side. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the sophomore Matthew Eddy making his presence be felt that time as he ran down Nolan in the flat for that couple-yard loss, and now Rose Hill in a dangerous spot where they could have to punt it away here and have 3 empty possessions to start this game.
Well, all the Crusaders have been using great containment right now.
Loss of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 36. 2 receivers left. And 3, including Nolan, in the slot to the right. Empty backfield set on 3rd down. They throw it, caught in the slot near side at the 40. Digging for yardage and going to be stopped about a yard shy after the catch. It is Bischler again, and you can tell that Bischler is their key go-to guy. When they need yards, that's where they look.
Yeah, he almost has half of their receiving yards of all their passing on the season, and he's the guy that when they're in trouble, they're going to target. And now they have another 4th and 1 situation. Rose Hill faced one of these a bit ago.
Got it to the 44, the near hash mark did Bischler after that catch in the slot. Going to be 4th down and 1. Rockets appear to want to go for it again. Buhler stopped him on their last 4th down try. Nolan behind, Evans in the gun. They'll take the snap as they go for it. He's got the first down, reaches midfield to be brought down there by Brock McCurdy. Rockets with their first down of the evening as they get it to the 50 and a gain of 6. Clock running, 4:52 to play here in the first and a 14-0 score.
You mentioned the first down of the evening for Rose Hill. They are now almost into Crusader territory for the first time tonight.
1st and 10 at the 50. Here's Evans out of the gun, back to Nolan. Nolan trying to bounce to the far side left. Working behind the left tackle. Noah Boltikoff, who's headed to TCU next fall. And progress of 3 yards up to the 47 on 1st down.
Yeah, Boltikoff had signed at K-State, but of course Blaze Fultz, who played here at Rose Hill, started his entire senior season at TCU back in 2012, is on the coaching staff, and he helped steer Boltikoff to his alma mater.
2nd and 7 after that gain of 3 from the 47. Rockets down 2 scores. Evans out of the gun with Nolan behind him. Here's a handoff in motion, and that's not going to work. Kochic going left to right, coming across the formation in motion, got the handoff, and he'll be stopped for no gain on the play at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, a little kind of almost misdirection that time as Kochik was the wing back, but great job calling rolling on stoning him right there at the line.
Big 3rd down and 7 play here with 3:29 to go in the first. Evans works out of the gun, bunch formation to the far side, wants to throw, has time, is going to go deep one-on-one, and it's going to be overthrown. Boy, he had his man open at the 20, and that was Bischler. Overthrown, though. It was Perez on the coverage. It'll be 4th down.
And even though that was one of those setups where basically he just took the shotgun snap, stepped back, and threw, there was still some Crusaders collapsing around him, and I think it really helped to speed up Bryson Evans' throw there. But the big news, guys, the Crusaders are forcing Rose Hill to punt away and give possession back to the Crusaders.
Rockets have not converted yet, 0 of 3 on 3rd down, and it appears they will have to punt away on 4th down and 7. Matthew Eddy standing near the 20 to receive this kick. He's going to fair catch it at the 15. Awfully close to him defensively for Rose Hill. Chase Green right in his grill. Got to be careful you don't get a penalty on that fair catch.
Yeah, kick catch interference is a penalty that you can get. You know, the halo was something that used to be talked about a lot. Now they don't call it very often, but Eddie's shown some ice water in the veins that time as he had one of the coverage guys right in his face.
I'll mark it from the 17. Peter up 14-0. The defensive return for a score by Perez, and then the Sam Elliott touchdown. They'll work out of the eye on 1st down. It's Elliott to the 20, and he'll be tripped up just across the 20-yard line running on the far side. Forward progress up to the 22. That'll be a 5-yard gain on 1st down. Bueller tonight, white tops, maroon pants, maroon helmets and lettering. All red unis with the red helmets and the white lettering for the Rose Hill Rockets. 2nd down and 5 at the 22. Down to 2:47 already to play in the first. They'll put Bradley out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Elliott to the left of Neal in the backfield. Across the formation comes Campbell in motion. They'll hand it off to Elliott, and Rose Hill sniffed that out. So they bring the jet sweep across the formation, hand it off to Sam, and he loses 2 back to the 20.
Yeah, unfortunately for Bueller on the jet sweep, you're hoping that some of the defenders, especially the defensive end on the near side, is going to go with that play action across the face. They did not go with Campbell whatsoever. They are worried about Sam Elliott.
Well, it seems like the whole season everybody's been worried about Sam.
And rightfully so. He merits the fears.
First 3rd down try of the night for the Bueller offense. 3rd and 7 from the 20. They'll come to the line. 10 of the play clock, out of the I formation. Double tight end set on 3rd and 7. There's the fake. Brad rolling out to pass. Caught at the 30. It'll be a 1st down and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Nice catch out of the backfield for Colin Rowland.
And the great play action that time. They faked the action to the right and then rolled him to his left. Rowland found a little crease underneath, and just a nice catch that time by Rowland on the run. A nice throw made by Mr. Neal to keep the sticks moving for the Crusaders.
All the way up to the 33, a gain of 13 for Colin Rowland. That'll be 1st and 10. Crusaders, $1:33 left here in the quarter. They stay with a double tight set, I formation on 1st down, and here's Elliott on the ground, right at the line, now trying to bounce to the outside. Nothing there. Good penetration by that Rocket defense. Boy, one guy for Rose Hill we'll talk about a lot tonight is one of their linebackers. Brandon Kelly leads the team in tackles, number 84. He is all over the field.
Yeah, that time the Crusaders went with a crossbuck look. They sent Rowland to the left, Elliott to the right, and unfortunately that Rose Hill defense just completely keying on Sam Elliott.
Gain of a yard for Sam to the 34. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Get her to the line, 15 to the play clock. Inside a minute to go in the quarter, up 14-0. Tight end Van Bruggen lined up on the right side, I formation. Here's Elliott, breaks out a 1 tackle, spins his way across the 35. And forward progress up to the 36, so 2 yards on 2nd down for Sam. We'll see if they get they will have to get one more playoff here in the first quarter. There's about 2 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. Football sits at the left hash mark of the 36-yard line, 3rd down and 7. Well, Bueller converted on play action on 3rd down there last time. They'll go with a wing back to the right, 2 receivers right with Neal out of the gun. Brad takes the snap, steps back in the top pocket, time to throw over the middle, caught! And close to a 1st down. We'll see, it's all going to depend upon the spot. Caught over the middle by Colin Rowland. Brad is 2 for 2, and right now it looks like they have it marked as a first down, Chris.
What a great second effort that time by Coffee.
That was Dalen Coffee who caught that over the middle. I'm sorry.
And he caught that ball near the 40-yard line in some serious traffic and then just kind of had to fight his way upfield. Really, that second and third effort that time by Coffee helped to get the Crusaders the first down there.
8 yards and a first down. That'll be the end of the first. Bueller up 14-0 here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
On your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app. Bueller Crusader Football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Mann, Wyatt & Rice Personal Injury Law Firm is celebrating 20 years of helping victims recover their health and lives after a serious accident. Serving Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado, our success stems from valuing people over profits. We look forward to another 20 years of fighting for victims' rights. Mann, Wyatt & Rice attorneys and staff wish Bueller athletes the best of luck this season. Mann Rice, trusted, experienced, compassionate.
Bueller Crusader Football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, I love the short passing game, and I love the fact that we're getting different guys. First down catch on third down for Roland, now one for Coffee, mixing it up, giving different looks to the Rockets.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, Rose Hill is preparing a bunch for Sam Elliott running the football, so anything we can get going in the passing game is bonus.
First and 10 from the 44, and a big hole up the middle. There goes Sam into Rocket territory across the 45 and down to the 41-yard line. And he finally breaks open into the second level, turns on the afterjets, and that'll be a first down run for Sam Elliott.
What a great effort that time by Elliott. The offensive line did a fantastic job really kind of holding the line that time and got Sam into the second level, and that's his second longest run of the evening.
15 yards on the play for Sam Elliott. First and 10 at the 41, 11:33 to go in the half. They'll stay on the ground out of the eye. Elliott is going to be wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. You mentioned it. That Rose Hill defense really keying on Bueller's running game, and they'll stop Elliott for no gain. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, Elliott is the guy that, you know, they flat told their guys, I'm sure all week, if we're going to beat Bueller, we got to stop Sam Elliott. And, you know, so everything that he can do tonight, it is under a microscope because everything from the Rose Hill Red Rockets is right on him.
That passing game will help Bradley Neal 2 for 2 and 2 key third down passes to continue the drive. Would have got a timeout of the field. Timeout, 10:59 to go in the second. Bueller up 2 touchdowns, 14-0 here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Rise Up Reno and Donna Davis want to remind you that prevention matters. Prevention is having goals, holding leadership roles, and being connected to the community.
Early prevention efforts can help us make our community and our economy better and healthier by keeping young people engaged in productive accomplishments, not addiction.
Rise Up Reno is prevention. Rise up, Reno.
Happy November, Kansas. How about a chance to win some holiday cash? Here at Next Tech Wireless, we thought it would be festive and fun to give away $1,000. All you have to do is stop by a Next Tech Wireless store, register, and poof, you're entered. Oh yeah, you can enter once every November day. 30 days, 30 chances, $1,000 jackpot. Stop by, register to win. Check out our great holiday deals. It's time for something different. Next Tech Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Second down, a long 10. Out of the timeout, Bueller out of the eye. Single receivers either side. And they'll go to Elliott on the ground inside. Carey finds his way, a seam to the 30. He's got another first down. Slipped through just the sliver of a hole on the right side. Did Elliott down to the 28-yard line.
And Sam ran into a little bit of contact, like you mentioned, right at the line of scrimmage, but just kept those legs a driving, the knee drive, and what a great effort that time by Elliott. Everything he does tonight is going to be tough sledding, and he had a great run right there.
13 more yards for Sam Elliott in that ground game. First and 10. At the 28, Bueller from the right hash mark. Wing back to the right, 2 receivers split out. Now they'll bring Roland and Van Bruggen, the tight end, over to the right side. Here's the throw. They're going left, one-on-one at the 10-yard line. Over the, it's going to be defensive pass interference. They were looking for Campbell over on the far side at the 10. He was covered on the play defensively by the sophomore Luke McLaughlin.
Yeah, Luke McLaughlin had the hand on him, and they tried to get the one-on-one set when they brought Van Bruggen and Coffey over here. And, yeah, he pushed off of Campbell, and so the Crusaders will get a first down off the penalty there.
That is Cameron Campbell, intended target at the 10. Third penalty of the night on the Rockets. It'll set up a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. 10-17 to go here before halftime. Bueller up 14-0 in the Rose Hill red zone. High formation with a 2 tight end set. Here is Elliott, right side at the 10, trying to bounce to the corner to the 5. He'll go down. Let's see where the knee is down at the 6. And a gain of 9 there for Sam Elliott.
Well, the Crusaders must see something off tackle, Tyler, because they are just pounding the right side of the line tonight.
Well, also it was a great cut by Sam in front of the D-back to get those extra yards. Now they only have a 2nd and 1.
This is a play caller's dream here down near the goal line. And I tell you what, the Crusader offense really clicking on all cylinders tonight, fellas.
This is down in that area where you call that little tight end dump over the middle. Something they're not looking for. 2nd and 1 at the 6. 9:33 to go here before halftime from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Brad under the gun. Jet sweep in motion. McCurdy fake, run up the middle. The keeper to the goal line. Touchdown, Crusaders. Brad Neal sneaks in the end zone. No.
Roland.
Was it Colin Roland? I'm sorry. Faked me out.
That's all right. No, what they did, you talk about something they're not ready for. Sam has been so good inside the red zone that time. They brought Brock McCurdy across the field to try to get some linebackers' eyes moving to the left, and they just handed a little inside handoff to Roland, who dove in from 6 out.
Colin Roland with the touchdown run. That'll be his 3rd of the season. Peter up 3 scores. The extra point. Hold is good. Kick up and good off the right foot of Jeffrey Neal. 9:22. I apologize, Colin Roland. They faked in the jet sweep, and then the handoff to Roland and the touchdown. 21-0. Crusaders. 9:22 to play in the half on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
First National Bank is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. We have an experienced staff prepared to provide you with a variety of banking solutions. Please visit our website, fnbhutch.bank. That's fnbhutch.bank for more information. First National Bank of Hutchinson, we're first for you.
Visit one of the First's 5 convenient locations in Hutchinson, including inside Dillon's Marketplace. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Boy, big hit at the end of the kickoff return by Jeffrey Neal. Far side taken to the 30, return to near the 40-yard line. And then a big hit at the end of that run.
And this is Rose Hill's first possession of the 2nd quarter. The Crusaders chewed up a lot of clock on that nice drive right there.
And you said kickers can't hit.
Rockets at their own 40. Love that long sustained drive. 12 plays, 83 yards for the Crusaders. You mentioned the time they took off the clock. 2 receivers right here on first down. Lit up in the backfield. Here's Spencer Nolan. And dropped for a loss of 3 on first down back to the 37.
As Mr. Coffey with the big shot there for the loss. And I tell you what, the Crusaders are clicking on all cylinders right now, offensively and defensively.
Well, we talked about that long sustained drive there for Bueller. 2 key pass plays that went for first down on 3rd and long for the Crusaders. Good to see.
He's having a very efficient night.
2nd and 13 from the 37. Evans to throw again, now scrambling. Far side, he does not like to run. Throws over the middle. Tight coverage, good coverage. Incomplete, knocked away. And a great PBU for Deontay Campbell at the 45.
Well, the Campbell brothers brought it tonight, fellas. They are playing physical, physical, physical. And that one, Campbell timed it just perfectly. As if he hadn't been physical that time, Rose Hill would have a first down right here. Now they've got a 3rd and long.
Boy, blanketing the receiver in the middle of the field was Deontay Campbell. 3rd down and 13 at the 37. Evans out of the gun. Nolan behind him, wants to throw, steps up in the pocket, zings it over the middle, and it's caught. That'll be into Bueller territory at the 40. Boy, Bryson Evans showing his arm there, and there's Mr. Bischler getting in on the action to the 40 for a first down.
Yeah, and that was just a slant over the middle and a well-played ball. Those are tough to defend because as the receiver's crossing your face, you really can't get in between the quarterback and the receiver. But nice ball thrown that time by Evans.
Goes for 23 yards and a first down. Into Bueller territory at the 40, 1st and 10. Rockets back to the ground game, and Nolan pounding it forward using the size of their offensive line. To the 35, there is a flag down on the play.
And I think it's going to be a hold from where it was at.
It's right at the end of the play, right at the point of tackle. Nope, they're going to mark it off against the Crusaders.
So the face mask will tack on some more yardage, and Rose Hill now with their first really offensive momentum of the evening.
Well, down 3 touchdowns here, 21-0, 7:55 to play in the first. Evans works it out of the gun, 2 receivers left, 2 right, wants to throw, going to Bischler again, coverage Brock McCurdy, and they're going to throw multiple flags, and it'll be back-to-back penalties on the Crusaders. You know, school of thought there for me, Christopher, is I'd rather him take the penalty than give up the touchdown.
Yeah, it's not a spot foul in the high school level, and so yeah, it's better to give up 15 yards right there rather than give up 6.
2 penalties now on Bueller here on this drive. They come in averaging 3 a game. The ball at the 15-yard line. Rockets in the red zone for the first time tonight from the left hash mark. Going right to left. Evans out of the gun with 2 receivers right, 2 left, and he is going to be hit in the backfield for a loss. Dalen Coffey light him up back at the 25.
Dalen Coffey is having one whale of a night, fellas, as he has been all over the field in the backfield, and a big 10-yard sack that moves him back outside the red zone.
Well, ever since they moved Dalen Coffey to DN, he's been tearing it up.
Did we mention that Bryson Evans does not want to run with the football?
Yeah, he is a guy that he wants to unload it quick, and so it really allows that Bueller D-line just pin their ears back. But the thing about it, they haven't run a screen tonight. That's kind of the way you try to combat D-linemen in your face.
Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set. Evans on 2nd and 20 wants to throw over the middle. It is caught by Nolan. And they will get most of the penalty yardage back to the 16-yard line is where forward progress is stopped. So they pick up 9.
I tell you, though, even though there was a completion that time, did you see how the Crusader secondary swarmed to the football? That was really good to see. And I tell you what, Deontay Campbell, good and physical, was able to kind of stand him up and let the cavalry come and help him finish him off.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11 here. You figure the Rockets down 3 scores in 4-down territory. Trips left on 3rd down. They'll put Nolan in motion. Evans to throw, going to one-on-one to the back of the end zone, and he overthrows his target. Looking for Trevor Kaiser for the first time tonight, incomplete.
And the Crusaders, met and completely collapsed that time around Bryson Evans. He took a big old shot right at the end of the play. And so now a 4th and long here for the Rockets. And if they don't score here, Bueller's going to feel really good about the way this game's rolling.
Well, going back to Evans doesn't like to run. If you're a quarterback like that, you got to be able to feel that pressure. So even though you don't scramble, you got to get rid of it instead of taking the 10-yard sack.
Time out of the field, 4th and 11 coming up, 6:21 to play in the half. 21-0 Crusaders on the Crusader Sports Network and HKFM.
Is very good when a problem arises. We had that happen with our daughter. He went in to do some work and then found another issue and communicated with me and gave me the option, but yet told me what he would do if it were his daughter. He gives you options that work with your family's budget.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office at 200 East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Their patients come first.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Big throw over the middle, and it's high and incomplete. And a flag comes down at the end of the play. The pass over the middle, intended for Bischler, high and incomplete, but a flag down to the field.
Brock McCurdy did a beautiful job of defending the ball that was thrown right at the goal line for Bischler, but that late flag back in the pocket, we'll hope that a Rose Hill kid said something and it wasn't one of our boys.
There's going to be a late hit on the Crusaders.
It looks like the officials aimed to the south, which I like the looks of this, fellas. It might be against the Rockets. That white hat's facing the right direction.
It's holding on Rose Hill. That'll be their fourth penalty.
I was so afraid, fellas, when that flag came out late, and sometimes at the end of a play when you're just getting in a quarterback's grill down after down after down, sometimes O linemen say stuff, sometimes D linemen give a greeting they shouldn't, and I'm thankful that it was a hold there.
Well, it'll be a turnover on downs. Rockets 0 for 4 on third down now. 2 of 3 on fourth down. 1 of 3 on fourth down. And after the holding penalty, it essentially ends in a turnover on downs. Bueller's going to have it back here with 6:16 to play in the half.
Well, and I don't know why they marked off the hold, because the Crusaders,
on fourth down, you decline the penalty.
You decline it, and then you have possession. So
they gave them the 30-yard line to start.
Better to be lucky than good.
From their own 30, 1st and 10. High formation. Here's Elliott looking for room, scrambles right and then back left. And Sam Elliott took a play where he was going to lose 2 yards, and he turns it into an almost 2-yard gain on first down.
And that's what's so demoralizing about having to defend a guy like Sam Elliott. It looked like Rose Hill thought, hey, we got him stopped for dead to rights. And then he was able to cut back and make something, like you said, Aaron, out of nothing.
It'll be second down and a long 8 here. Bueller will break the huddle up 21-0. They have stopped Rose Hill now 3-4 times on offense and kept them out of the end zone. I formation, 2 tight end set. Back to Elliott. Big hole near side across the 35 and down to the 39-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and 2 for the Crusaders. That'll be 7 yards. And Sam Elliott well on his way to having a good night.
Well, and Sam is really, you're starting to see it. He's starting to get to that second level is who's making the tackles for Rose Hill. That time it was one of their D-backs that had to come up and make the touchdown-saving tackle. And so now a 3rd and very manageable. The beautiful thing, too, for Bueller, that clock continuing to run. If we can just have a long, sustained drive here and not give Rose Hill the ball back, I think everybody would be happy.
Elliott came in 10th all time in rushing as they go with 2 wingbacks in this formation. And somebody moved, the snap flag comes out.
Yeah, one of our super backs shuffled ever so slightly early before the snap, so that illegal procedure now takes us from a 3rd and 2 to now a 3rd and 7. So a huge penalty, and that also stops the clock with 4:54 left to go in the second.
That'll be the 3rd penalty of the night on the Crusaders. Sam Elliott, 10th all time in rushing coming into the game with just shy of 2,500 yards. He is currently chasing Larry Coley for 9th. 3rd down and 4, clock rolling. Bradley out of the gun, 2 receivers to the far side. Low snap, pulls it out, throws it over the middle, caught 40 at the first down. It's Coffey again to the 45 and to the 50 at midfield. It'll be a first down throw for Brad Neal.
And I tell you what, Brad is throwing those underneath darts tonight. That's Coffey's 2nd catch of the night, 2nd one that went for a first down as well. And that is huge because that gives the Sticks a first down for Bueller and keeps that ball in our possession.
11 yards to the 50. Bueller 3 of 3 on 3rd down. All 3 of them throws tonight. 1st and 10, right at midfield, going left to right. Out of the I formation. Back to Elliott. Cuts left and then right. Finds a hole up the middle. Has another first down across the 40. 12 more yards for Sam Elliott to the 38. And now the holes in the boat starting to leak a little bit for the Rockets.
Yeah, and the Crusaders, you know, Sam's confidence is just going to continue to go as time goes on. As an offensive lineman, too, when you see your tailback have a nice run after nice run after nice run, you really start to feel that momentum of we can blow these guys backwards.
1st and 10, 3:54 to go before halftime. Bueller leading 21-0. 5-3 Crusaders, 6-3 Rockets out of the I formation. And back to the ground game, inside handoff to Elliott. Power running game, forward progress to the 36, picks up 2 more. 2nd all-time meeting in the playoffs between these two. Buhler won the only other meeting they dominated in 2009 in Buhler.
And the Crusaders' drive continues to just melt that clock away here as they'll snap it with a little over 3 minutes to go in this first half.
Second down and 8 at the 36. They go with two tight ends. Play action. Brad to throw far side. Just overthrows Colin Rowland on the far side at the first down stick at the 28. Only his second incompletion of the night.
Yeah, the Crusaders before that, a almost perfect stat line throwing the football tonight for Bradley Neal.
That is a tough throw and a tough catch there on the far side.
Yeah, just a little high. Luckily for the Crusaders, it got tipped into the air, which as an offensive player, you never want to tip the ball up. Luckily, there wasn't any D-backs there to get the pick.
Ryan Henderson checks in a receiver, the slot to the far side. He's over there along with McCurdy. Brad out of the gun on third down and 8. With time, wants to throw, pump fake, steps up in the pocket, throws. Henderson at the 10, 5, touchdown, Crusaders!
What a pass that time. Henderson on the tight end dump from the near side just went streaking up the field. He gave a pump fake looking to his left. The D-backs went with him, and Henderson just got wide open. And that was one of those throws for Neal's sake. He was so open, I was just pleased hit him in the hands, and he hit him right in the hands. Great pitch and catch that time for the Crusaders.
Buhler 4 of 4 on third down, and a 36-yard touchdown pass from Brad Neal to Ryan Henderson. Here is the PAT try. It is true again for Jeff Neal. It has been a perfect first half tonight for the Crusaders with the extra point. 3:03 left in the first half. Buhler 28, Rose Hill nothing on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Bleed maroon and white? Do you want to help the students of BHS in their extracurricular activities? The Buhler High Booster Club helps support hundreds of students each year. To join, stop by the Buhler Closet at any home game or email BuhlerBoosterClub@gmail.com.
Whether you're wanting to pick up a class or two while on break or looking to get a head start on your college career, Hutchinson Community College has online classes available throughout November and December. They're affordable, convenient, and flexible. Email myfuture@hutchcc.edu for details.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Buhler Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, Brad Neal on target to have his best night of the season. Throws the touchdown pass, a squib kick on the return. No yards gained at the 29. That is where the Rockets will start at their own 29, Christopher. But Brad Neal 4 of 6 and stood in the pocket. Nice throw over the middle of Ryan Henderson for the touchdown and having a fantastic first half.
Yeah, it has been the night of the Crusaders so far. Things are going our way offensively, defensively, and now if you're Buhler, what you wouldn't give to have a shutout going into this halftime break, you know Rose Hill's going to come out slinging it right here.
From the 29 right to left, Bryson Evans out of the gun. They'll put Bischler in motion, hand it off. Nolan breaks out of a couple of tackles to the second level across the 35. And we'll get up to the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9 on first down.
So Rose Hill, they've still got all 3 timeouts remaining here, so they can kind of go into 2-minute drill here.
Second down with the clock running, 2:36 to go before halftime. Evans will work it out of the gun. They'll put trips right, empty backfield set, 2 receivers left. They spread them out 5 wide on second down. Evans to throw in traffic over the middle, and nothing there. Evans had to get rid of it in a hurry because he was under duress and threw it in all kinds of traffic, incomplete.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Coles is really showing how much faith he has in his secondary tonight. He's going pretty much single coverage across the board. That's allowing the linebackers underneath to really play free.
Well, I don't even know where that ball was going to because there was just a cluster of everybody.
That was hope to fit it in there play. Third down and 2. Clock stopped with the incompletion. 2 receivers far out right, 2 in a bunch formation to the left. Handoff, Nolan running left. Buhler getting to the edge. No thank you. They chase him out of bounds. It'll be 4th down at the 39.
We're going to get the ball back. Rose Hill went from the situation of like, okay, let's try to get some points on the board to, oh, crud, we better run the football to try to burn some clock and not give Bueller another possession. But I tell you what, even though they're making a huge line change personnel-wise, I'd be a little leery of a fake possibly here.
Yeah, no gain on the play. They actually mark it at the 38. Nolan out of bounds, 4th down. Rockets 0 of 5 on 3rd down, and they will punt it away. And Bueller has nobody back, and this is going to roll away. He's out of bounds inside the 20 after the kick by the Rockets.
I tell you what, when it rains, it pours, and right now it is pouring for Rose Hill. That's about the best thing they've had go for them tonight was a long rollout on a punt. So that's telling you what kind of a night it's been. But it hasn't been that Rose Hill's just making tons of mistakes. I mean, Bueller is just playing really good, smart football on both sides of the ball.
They will start from their own 19 with 2:09 left here before halftime. Crusader football brought to you by Withco Steel Products, Apple Lane Animal Hospital, by First National Bank, Apex Shears, and by Fee Insurance. 2 receivers far out to the left. It'll be Brad out of the gun. Super back left. There's that wing on 1st down. They hand it off up the middle. Elliott breaking out of tackles as he always does across the 25. Let's see where he ends up. How did he get to the 28? He's Sam Elliott. It's what he does.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it, Aaron, as he just went into a massive humanity, continued to keep his legs churning, and now the Crusaders with a 2nd and short after that 9-yard pickup on 1st down.
Well, I'm going to make a comparison of K-State football right here.
Oh,
he
no,
is like
please don't.
Deuce Vaughn. It's so hard to tackle him because he's so small.
Oh, boy. 2nd down and 1. Here is Bradley out of the gun. They'll put Campbell with the jet sweep in motion. Cameron's going to get it to the far side, turns upfield, and he is going to be hit. Boy, nicely played over there by Rose Hill. Dropped for a loss by Keegan Beavers over on the far side of the jet sweep. Back to the, let's see here, back to the 33.
Yeah, and great coverage out there in the flats that time by Rose Hill. And we got a McPherson Dental Care scoreboard update. Mac now kind of stretching their lead out on Augusta.
Back to the 26, loss of 2. 2 tight ends set on 3rd down and 2. Here's Sam, little juke move, near side 30. He's got the 1st down, breaks out of a hole, cuts to the middle. He may be gone at the 50, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Crusaders!
What a backbreaker. Sam Elliott, we had a 3rd and 3 situation after the 2-yard loss. Looked like, hey, let's just try to get a 1st down, try to keep the ball in our possession. And Sam Elliott has his biggest run of the night, the biggest play of the night for either squad. And Crusaders now up 34-0 after that monster run by Mr. Elliott.
That is 74 yards. That is the longest run of the year for Sam Elliott. I could see you looking for penalties. But
oh, that's the first thing I started looking up is nobody touch a soul. Sam's got enough speed to get this.
Here's Jeff Neal on for the PAT. He stays perfect again here in the game. And Bueller's put on a clinic in the 1st half, now leading 35-0 over Rose Hill. 41 seconds to go here from HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
The veterinarians and staff at Apple Lane Animal Hospital would like to wish Coach Warner and the Bueller Crusaders a healthy and successful season. The same level of hard work, dedication, and commitment to excel on the field is what we do at Apple Lane Animal Hospital. We continue to invest in new diagnostics and technology to make every effort to give you and your pet the best care possible. Go Crusaders!
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, you had mentioned that they were stuffing Sam early in the 1st quarter. But as the 1st half is worn along, Christopher, he is getting better and better and better.
Well, he just wears you down. And seriously, hats off to the O-line. They are doing yeoman's work up front against a Division I player on the other side nonetheless.
3 plays, 81 yards, a 74-yard scamper for a touchdown that scored. Jeff Neal squibs it again. It'll be taken short at the 38. That's where the Rockets will have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be their 6th time on offense tonight. 1st half, and they have nothing to show for it.
Well, if you're Bueller right here with 37 seconds left, you know Rose Hill is going to go vertical here. They're going to try to get some momentum here going into the locker room.
This is a huge chance for the D-line to get another couple sacks.
4 wide receivers, trips right, Evans to throw, looks right. Coverage downfield, and it is tipped and picked off at the 20. INT for the Crusaders at the 20-yard line. Who's got it? It's Deontay Campbell.
Mason Lipford was the man that tipped it up, and every D-back that's ever played the game practices a thing called tip drill, where you practice the ball just getting tipped up and breaking on it. And I tell you what, we talked about it. The Campbell brothers came to play tonight. Deontay Campbell with the pick there.
You know what's going to happen at Thanksgiving dinner, though, don't you? Cameron's going to say, hey, bro, I returned mine for a touchdown.
I know. They're going to have some rivalry to go around, but I tell you what, the Crusaders are hitting on all cylinders right now, gentlemen.
Oh, they are going to have it here from their own 20 with 25 seconds to play after the Campbell INT, and Brad Neal's going to take a knee. Let's not have anything go wrong that could go wrong here in this first half.
Well, when you get up by that many scores in the first half against this good of a team that, Tyler, you talked about, had a 6-game winning streak coming into tonight. This Rose Hill team's the best Rose Hill team they put on the field since that state championship game. They had a lot of momentum, and the Crusaders have completely taken it away from Rose Hill this first half.
Well, yeah, going back to 2011, that's when they won state, and this is seriously their best team since they've had that.
You know, impressive. We talked about the perfect first half last week. Bueller 4 of 4 on offensive drives and scoring touchdowns in the first half, and the defensive touchdown. I go back to the 3 third-down and long plays where Brad Neal stepped up and made huge throws for first downs. The one, of course, was the touchdown to Ryan Henderson.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball really well tonight. The receivers have been catching really well tonight. It's just been an all-around good night for the Maroon and White.
That first touchdown of the night was the fumble recovered and returned for a score by Levi Perez. Fumbled from the Rocket 45. That made it 7-0. Then Sam Elliott, a couple of minutes later, on a 21-yard run, 7:05 to play in the first quarter, 14-0. Into the second quarter then when Colin Rowland got into the action on a 6-yard run. 9:22 to go in the half, 21-0. Next touchdown, that third down pass of 36 yards from Sam Elliott to Ryan Henderson. Rhino's second touchdown catch of the year, second longest. That was a 7-play, 70-yard drive, 28-0 Crusaders. And then they get the ball back near the end of the first half. They go 3 plays, 81 yards, and Sam Elliott, his longest run of the season, 74 yards, 41 seconds left, 35-0. And then the second Rocket turnover the first half. Right there at the end of things, the INT by Deontay Campbell. 35-0, Rockets trail here on their home field in the second round of the playoffs. Crusaders up. And our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report begins next on HKFM.
Bank of Kansas halftime report. Prairie Bank of Kansas, serving Central Kansas since 1886. Coming up, we'll bring you stats and analysis from tonight's first half. Your home for Crusader football is Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Prairie Bank of Kansas is a local bank with local concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote activities like sports and extracurricular learning. We hope you support these valuable activities too. We'll be right here with you. Visit one of our locations in Stafford, Bueller, Inman, or Hutchinson, or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas, how banking should be.
Neufeld's Flooring, your experts in design and installation of carpet, tile, wood, and vinyl floor covering. Proudly sponsoring Bueller High School activities, Neufeld's Flooring in downtown Bueller.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dal Hunt with Bueller Dental Care. At Bueller Dental Care, we have great registered hygienists to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build a positive relationship with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We like to have some fun with you and get to know you while you spend time with us. So be sure to give us a call at 620-543-2768 or email us at drdalldds@gmail.com. Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Hello, Bruce Isaacson here with the Isaacson Insurance Agency.
Effective September 1st of this year, I have moved my office to 1700 East 30th, Suite D, just east of the intersection of 30th and Waldron. Stop in for your free insurance review on your auto and home, or simply call 727-0653. You'll be glad you did.
Well, welcome back on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. In Rose Hill tonight, second round of the 4A state playoffs, part of the Next Tech Wireless Road to a championship. You can stream tonight's game on your phone with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Next Tech Wireless. You're mobile and need to stay connected online at nextechwireless.com. Coming up, a recap of tonight's first half. We'll go inside the numbers, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. And a look at other important scores around the area in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. Our cross-country teams competed at state last weekend at Wamego. Girls finishing fourth behind Baldwin, Eudora, and Lewisburg. Senior Leah Bentley, fourth overall at a time of 20:36.25. Bentley talked about her strategy going into the race.
So my plan at the beginning of the race was just to go out and stick with that lead pack and just to hold on as long as possible, and so it worked out to my advantage.
And a cap to a fantastic senior season for Bentley, and she finished fourth overall. Senior Emily Madison 22nd at a 21:42.78. The boys are three-time champions now as they repeated as 4A state winners at Wamego last Saturday. They finished ahead of Miege and Winfield. Junior Tanner Lindahl, third overall, had 15:59.08. Lindahl talks about an improved performance at state from a year ago.
This year's was a lot better than last year, because last year I ran about in the 1640s, which is pretty frustrating because that's a lot slower than in my freshman year. So this year I was actually happy with my time. I ran 15:59, which, I mean, even though I got third, I mean, I did the best I could. I really had a good race. It's just they just did better, so I was a lot happier with this year.
A solid freshman campaign for Caden Lawrence, who was second for the Crusaders. He finished 17th with a time of 17:32.07. And I'll enjoy the success that this team has had the last 3 years, but knows with a good nucleus coming back, they have a chance to be contenders again next season.
That's just fantastic. I mean, to have, a streak going like this, and then the fact that we're only losing one senior from our varsity, so next year's looking great too. So it's just so exciting.
All right, thank you, Tanner.
A solid fall season overall for Crusaders sports. The Bueller golf team, girls golf league and regional champs. Lauren Specht became the first individual regional champion since Taryn Torgerson did it. Team went on to finish fourth at state. Lauren Specht, who's headed to Dodge City next year, was fifth overall individually at the 4A state tournament. 7 regular season championships won by the girls tennis team. They were regional champs for a third straight year and qualified for the state tournament. A great regular season for Jessie Furneaux and Olivia Frederick that went 18-0. The team finishing third at state. A three-time medalist now, senior Brittany Teufel finishes fourth in singles. In doubles, Alex Hutton and Kayla Babcock finish fourth overall as well. The volleyball team in the final KVA Class 4A rankings finishes fifth. A great season for Coach Deidre Emmel's bunch. They go 22-10 and are the sub-state runners-up. Well, football, the lone fall sport left, and then we turn our attention to winter sports. The first day of winter sports practice, November 16th for wrestling, boys swimming, and girls and boys basketball. We'll open the basketball season December 4th at Nickerson. The home opener December 8th against Salina South at Jim Baker Fieldhouse. More coming up in our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. This is part of the Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hi, this is Bueller head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Bueller Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter emailed weekly to Bueller High School football supporters. To sign up for the Football Weekly Roundtable, just send an email to crusadersrt@gmail.com. That's crusadersrt rt@gmail.com.
Hello fans, Monty Cross with HCU Investment Insurance Services, and as an alumni of Buhler, I am proud to sponsor Crusader Sports. HCU Investment Insurance Services is located inside Heartland Credit Union at 23rd and Severance in Hutchison. Call me today at 620-669-0177 or 800-428-8472. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance products offered through LPL Financial or its licensed affiliates.
Mann, Wyatt & Rice Personal Injury Law Firm is celebrating 20 years of helping victims recover their health and lives after a serious accident. Serving Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado, our success stems from valuing people over profits. We look forward to another 20 years of fighting for victims' rights. Mann, Wyatt & Rice attorneys and staff wish Buhler athletes the best of luck this season. Mann, Wyatt & Rice, trusted, experienced, compassionate.
Buhler Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And back here at halftime on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Crusader football brought to you in part tonight by Jackson Meat, by Rise Up Renal Prevention Network, The Medicine Shop, by Waypan Insurance, and by Rod's Tire and Service. Reminder, we are live from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth tonight, where they're dedicated to helping you find the make and model that best suits your needs. Online at AllenSamuelsHutch.com. We'll get to some scores, a lot of them to bring to you coming up in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard tonight. As Buhler is up 35-0, fellas, at the half. And let's go inside our numbers. Brought to you by Adams Brown Barron, Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. Proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at AdamsBrownCPA.com. Numbers pretty one-sided so
they
far.
Were incredibly one-sided. We knew it was going to be hard to hold this Rose Hill team to the offensive performance that we did last week, holding Circle to -8, but it's still been a dominating performance. Total offense in the first half, Buhler with 176 yards on the ground. And here's the other stat. We are actually out-throwing Rose Hill through the air with 68 passing yards in the first half. Rose Hill with 54 yards through the air and just 1 rushing yard. Bradley Neal having his best stat line, I feel like, of the season. He's 4 of 5 in the first half for 68 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver for the Crusaders is Ryan Henderson, 1 catch for 36 yards for a touchdown. Dylan Coffey had the 2 catches for 19 yards, and Colin Rowland 1 catch for 13. For the Crusaders on the ground, Sam Elliott, 16 carries for 172 yards and 2 TDs. Colin Rowland with a carry that went for 6 yards and a touchdown. Individual statistics for Rose Hill, Bryson Evans, 5 for 14 for just 54 yards plus an INT. Their leading rusher on the ground is, no surprise, Nolan has 13 carries for 21 yards, but then you knock in those sacks that the Crusaders have put on to Evans, and they just have that 1 rushing yard at the half.
Well, a lot of key plays in this game. It started off with a fumble on Rose Hill's first drive, recovered and ran in for a touchdown by Levi Perez. Sam Elliott, 2 big touchdown runs. Colin Rowland has 1. You mentioned the 3rd down pass to Ryan Henderson that went for 6. And then, of course, Deontay Campbell with the INT right there at the end of the first half. A dominant first half for the Crusaders, hitting 35-0. We'll dive into our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard when we come back here at halftime on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Find Prairie Bank of Kansas online at prairiebankks.com. Following tonight's game, get scores and highlights on the Central Kansas scoreboard. Buhler Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
At Adams Brown, we go above and beyond to help our clients. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We love to show how our team can help your business. Stop by our Hutch location at 30th and Plum or check out AdamsBrownCPA.com. Adams Brown, Strategic Allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
John, when we last chatted, you said you were committed to offering vehicles at an affordable price, but aren't you going overboard taking 20% off the all-new Ram trucks?
Absolutely. And let's go a little bit further. Not only am I going to take 20% off, I'm going to offer you a choice, either a 2-year service agreement or free fuel for a year.
You're the boss. That's only at Allen Samuels of Hutch at 30th and Lorraine, online 24 hours a day at allensamuelshutch.com.
Allen Samuels of Hutch. Come by and let's be friends.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
All right, let's get to all the scores that matter here in the second half at our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard tonight. From regular teeth cleanings to advanced periodontal work, your hometown dentist, Bueller Dental Care, online at BuellerDentalCare.com. And you fellas were talking about Mac up fairly good in the first half over Augusta.
Yes, the halftime score from McPherson Stadium, the Bullpups leading 30-12 at the half. So Augusta not quite hanging as tight as they did a couple weeks ago, but they're still not out of the running in that game that will dictate whether we go to Mac or whether Augusta comes to our house next week.
And I'm sure got some other scores across the network tonight. A lot of area games, still a lot of teams in play in the postseason.
Yeah, I can go right down the line across the Ad Astra Sports Network on 94.7 KSKU. 8-man 2 action. Central Plains and Caldwell all tied up at 22, all down in Caldwell right now. Then the Battle of Reno County that happened in the regular season, Trinity and Haven are tied up at 6 apiece. That game taking place at Father Pritchard Field. You can hear that one on Kansas Rocks 100.3 KNZS. Then over on Kicks Country, 106. The last score we have out of Garden Plain were the Owls. Or here we just got the halftime score. Thank you, Rock and Heath Schroeder back at the studios. Garden Plain up on Hillsborough in 2A regional action, 18-7. And then on Sports 1 on the Ad Astra Sports Network, the last score we have out of Clifton Clyde. I'm trying to scroll down the line.
And 14-0 at one point.
Okay.
Little River.
Yes, okay, so Little River up there. And then over on Sports 2, the last score we have was Collegiate over Cheney, 29-14. All those are games you can hear on the Ad Astra Sports Network.
Elsewhere, Mays, first half leading Mays South, 28-7. Wamego 14, El Dorado 12. I believe that is a halftime score. Pratt Skyline, first half leading Gossel, 22-16. Hark City and Andover Central tied at 14 in the first half. Another 8-man game, Canton Galva 20. And I believe they're leading Burlingame 20-6. Mentioned the McPherson score 30-12 over Augusta. Wichita Capon leading Goddard 14-0 as well. So I think I have most of the scores out of the West. Yes. So right now, Arc City, Andover Central tied. Wamego leading El Dorado by 2, and Augusta trailing Mac big in the 4A West.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I know, Tyler, you had a 4A East score that you're kind of shocked by down in Fort Scott. The Mighty Tigers, unfortunately, though.
56-12 Miege. I really thought that Fort Scott could beat them this year, but you know what? It's just Bishop Miege is just a whole nother level.
Absolutely. They play that very difficult schedule every year and making their way through the playoffs in the East. Second half coming up. It's all Bueller here in this one, trying to get to maybe a rematch next week in Mac. Maybe we can meet halfway and play in Inman.
Hey, I'd be down with that. I don't know if the field, if the stadium would, well, I guess with the COVID regulations on attendance, maybe it would work.
We could keep those numbers down. 35-0 here at the half. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Bank of Kansas halftime report. The second half kickoff is coming up next. Crusader football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app.
Whether you're wanting to pick up a class or two while on break or looking to get a head start on your college career, Hutchinson Community College has online classes available throughout November and December. They're affordable, convenient, and flexible. Email myfuture@hutchcc.edu for details.
When you're running a business, you don't have time for internet that slows you down. IdeaTech is here to bring your business internet freedom. Freedom from high prices, freedom from slow service, and freedom from bad customer support. If you're ready to do business with a local company that cares about you, give IdeaTech a call at 620-543-5000 or visit ideatech.com and contact us through the Hook Me Up button on the homepage. Your internet freedom awaits.
The Cosmosphere had an unfortunate incident where sewage started to leak into the museum level. Given that we are supposed to care for and protect historic artifacts, we immediately called Phoenix Restoration because we knew Ryan and his team, they would work with us and get the situation eliminated so we could continue our operation.
Reno County's only locally owned fire and water restoration company is Phoenix Restoration. They'll help you rise again after your disaster. Online at phoenixrestoration.com.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Second half coming up from Rocket Stadium. Crusader football tonight brought to you by Midwest Iron and Metal, by Edgar Family Dental, by Hutch Rec, Sunflower Electric Supply by Ray and Sons Roofing. Another one of our great sponsors on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Our friends at I Need a Cleaners heard today that we collected over 1,500 coats, hats, gloves, and scarves in our Coats for Kids drive in October. Pretty cool stuff.
Yes, and of course that was started by former INETA owner John Neal, and his son Matt is the police chief here at Rose Hill, former Ad Astra alum.
Here is Deontay Campbell on the kickoff return to the 25. They'll get across the 25, forward progress to the 27, and Bueller will start up 35-0. How about a
second half and show Rose Hill you came to play the second half. Don't give them any hope on this first drive.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Bueller 4 of 4 on touchdown opportunities in the first half. They line up in the I formation. Single receivers either side. Elliott right up there. What was maybe a yard or two early. 5, 6, 7. Of course, and he broke that big one. That's the first really big one he's broke this year. 74 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of it is just because Rose Hill is selling out to try to stop him in the backfield. That of their linebackers keep getting caught up in the trash, and so if he can get past the linebackers, there's nobody there.
2nd down and 5. They stay with the I formation. 2 tight ends on 2nd down, and Sam has a first down run, breaks out of a tackle at the 45, flag down at the 50. Elliott stumbling his way across the Rocket 40. There is a flag back at the 32-yard line.
Well, and I want to tell you, some great sportsmanship that time by Gabe Barnes as he just absolutely obliterated the Rose Hill D lineman, and he was helping him up to the ground, or up to his feet afterward. That's something you don't see every day in football, but unfortunately, Aaron, you said that penalty is going to negate that nice run by Sam.
If only they gave us a grace call for helping someone up, they'd take off the flag.
Well, when all 22 players start to walk in one direction, you kind of know who the penalty is going to be on before they signal it. And that is going to push the football back to the 22-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10 instead of the big gain. And it will be 2nd down at about 15 here.
So the clock continues to run.
It's the 4th penalty tonight. First of the second half of the Crusaders. They go with the 2 wings, the 2 superbacks. Elliott up the middle, breaks out of a tackle at the 30. He'll get the penalty yardage back and set up a 3rd down and manageable. Across the 30 he goes, and up to the 33-yard line. He picks up 11, and so that'll make this 3rd down at about 4.
Well, you know your tailback's having a good night when I heard one of the Rose Hill crowd members right as that play started happening. Oh, no. You know, when your tailback is touching the ball and they're crying out on the defensive side, tells you he's having a good night.
At the 33, they need the 37 for a first down. 2 tight end set, I formation. Here is Sam. And across the 35, look at the surge that time. Got some help from his big lineman, including Corey Gilbert, and enough for the first down. What should have been about 2 yards shy, and a late surge, first down to the 38.
Well, I know my mom's a huge Beatles fan, and she's listening at home. I just thought of the line, I get by with a little help from my friends. You mentioned Gilbert up there, Bo Van Bruggen. I mean, the pile, Sam went into the pile, and the pile just continued to move and move.
5 yards.
And picked up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 38. Bueller is perfect on 3rd down tonight. How about that? Double tight set again. Here's Sam. Little juke move at the line at the 40. drags a tackler forward to the 45-yard line. 7 more yards for Sam Elliott.
Well, and fellas, they are not doing this against chairs. They are doing this against a kid who is signed to go not walk on at TCU, play scholarship football at TCU next year. He is playing nose guard right now. This is one of those games Corey Gilbert and the guys up front are going to be able to really kind of brush their knuckles and be proud of the effort they put out tonight.
Second down and 3 at the 45, 9:02 left in the third, 35-0. Single receivers either side. Brad to throw, one-on-one coverage, looking in traffic, and nearly a fantastic catch for Brigham McCurdy at the 25. He was in tight traffic, incomplete.
Yeah, that time Rosehill did a nice job. The safety over the top, that would have been Chase Green, really did a nice job of helping to bracket the intended receiver McCurdy at the end of it. But I like the play call on second down, really trying to get those members of the secondary out of the box.
They're down and 3 at the 45. Clock stopped, 8:52 to go in the third. 2 tight end set. McCurdy, lone receiver to the near side. I formation. And Sam Elliott has a first down run, still on his feet into Rosehill territory. The pile continuing to move again down to the 44-yard line. And another first down, another completed third down for Rosehill, giving up more yards on defense.
Well, the thing that the Crusaders are doing tonight, they are sustaining blocks. They always talk about playing to the whistle, and Tyler, our guys up front, are playing to the whistle.
Will Sam want to get half the yards that he gets without the O-line?
All right, we got to work on a nickname now for Sam with 11 more yards, 1st and 10. I'll go to the fullback, the handoff on first down, and a carry across the 40. Bueller just getting yards at will now. Down to the 38-yard line goes Bo Van Bruggen, who lined up at fullback that time.
I think it might have been rolling, but anyway, it was a fullback trap and just gashing that Rosehill defense right at him.
I vote we name Sam Deuce Elliott.
Oh, my gosh.
It has a ring to it.
He does wear number, he has a 2 on his jersey.
He does have a 2. Second down and 4 after the gain of 6 by the fullback. Here's Elliott again in traffic across the 35 and up to the 33-yard line. That'll be another first down run.
The maroon and white wall just continues to pour forward. And the beautiful thing about this, too, guys, these runs are happening inside the tackles. There is not a more humiliating thing to a defense to have somebody just line up and run it right at you. Coach Warner talked about in the pregame that we were going to just get in the eye, and if we could, just pound away at him. And that's exactly what the Crusaders are doing tonight.
Well, Boltikoff is the 37th ranked O-lineman in the country, so for them to do that, it's just crazy.
First down and 10 at the 32, trying to get back to the Rocket red zone. There's play action, and Brad's going to roll out. He's going to keep it. Design quarterback run, has a first down, and taken out of bounds near the 20. They'll mark him out at the 21. That'll be a gain of 12 and move the sticks again on a nice far side run by Bradley Neal.
Yeah, just the naked bootleg that time. Big Wesley Miller was out there, the pulling guard, to help lead the way. But I tell you what, great run that time by Bradley. That's his first carry of the night, and he made him pay right there.
If you're going to call Sam by his number, don't you have to call him Vainty? I mean, he is 20. First and 10 at the 21, a yard shy of the red zone. Elliott trying to get him there. This time, no dice. Stopped for no gain at the 21-yard line.
Well, that's when you're having a good night, when they just stop you at the line, and that's the best thing they have to show. But I tell you what, the other beautiful thing about this drive, fellas, we started this third quarter with the football. We've almost bled half of the quarter off the clock, and Rosehill has not even touched it this side of halftime.
Second down and 10, clock will run, 6:10 to go in the third, 35-0. From the 21, left to right. Left hash mark, Brad under center. 2 tight ends set. He'll take the snap. Back in the pocket to throw, near side, one-on-one. And that is going to be batted down, incomplete at the 10, intended for Dalen Coffey. And that'll bring up third down. Well, how much, you look at Rosehill, they got out to that 0-3 start. They got beat by a who's who in 3A. 6 straight wins against losing teams. But that 0-3 start maybe revealing itself a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, well, this Rosehill team is not a bad team. I mean, you look at that Andale, Clearwater, and Collegiate. You know, Collegiate right now is leading Cheney, and Andale is smashing Clearwater. I mean, those were 3 quality losses. But I tell you what, the Crusaders just came out and hit him in the mouth, and Rose Hill didn't know what hit him.
They're down at 21. Brad will go out of the gun. 2 receivers right along with the wingback in Roland. Elliott to the left. They'll throw it out of the backfield to Sam. Catches at the 15. He'll be taken out of bounds there. It's going to be 4th down. Way up 35-0. Really nothing to lose if you go for it here.
Yeah, nice little swing pass that time. And Elliott with his first catch of the night. I don't like the spot they gave him there. It looked like he was probably a couple yards upfield, but they're going to spot him after about a 6-yard pickup. So now a big 4th down conversion. The clock stopped when Elliott went out of bounds.
Buhler had converted on all 5 third downs into that one. 4th down and 4. They're going to go for it. 2 tight ends, single receiver is McCurdy to the near side. It's going to be Elliott inside carry. Gets to the 10, bounces off a tackler. It's all going to be where they mark his forward progress, and it looks like he's right there.
Well, it looked like he crossed the 10-yard line at one point in time, then kind of bounced back, and it's all about where the spot is. And this is going to be one of those deals where they're going to spot it probably to help Rose Hill out here.
He needed the 11. They might have to measure this. Timeout is going to be taken. I think they're going to have to bring the chains on here. He needed the 11-yard line. The football is right there.
Well, typically, don't they give him the forward progress? Because if they do, he really he crossed the plane big time.
They're supposed to. If we were at the collegiate ranks where they could actually review this, it looked like he crossed the 10 at one point in time, but then just kind of fighting out of a tackle, bounced back. And, guys, we've watched every single down of Crusader football this year. Have we seen a measurement this entire year?
I don't believe so.
Very few, if we have. But we're getting one right here.
All
you
right.
guys zoom in on that.
Chain gang, do your job here, fellers.
We'll get the call here, and it is short. Short by the nose of a football. 14 plays from Buhler's 27, and on a 4th down, they turn it over by inches at the 11-yard line.
I tell you what, that's just one of those things for Rose Hill, when one of the best things you've had happen is stopping a team inside your red zone after a 6+ minute drive. Let's see if the defense can really come out here swinging on their first possession of the 3rd quarter.
Rockets will now start from their own 11. 1st and 10. Here's Evans out of the gun. First possession of the second half, and they'll run it with Spencer Nolan. Forward progress up to the 13-yard line, a gain of 2.
Well, the tough thing for Rose Hill is now that they are down so many scores, they can't really just sit and ground and pound. They are going to have to start going to the air, which is going to allow that Buhler D-line to tee off even more on Bryson Evans.
2nd down and 8. Trips left, 2 receivers right, empty backfield set. Evans being pressured, flushed out of the pocket, gets away at the 15 to the 20, still on his feet. He's got a 1st down to the 25-yard line. He'll finally be brought down by Sam Elliott and company there.
Yeah, Trevor Kaiser put a block in the back that time on Deontay Campbell, but it's one of those deals when you're up 35-0, those calls aren't going to go your way.
That'll be a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Only positive yardage, I think, rushing that Bryson Evans has had tonight.
Yeah, that takes him to 13 yards of rushing for the entire game.
1st and 10 at the 25. Evans remains out of the gun. 4 receivers, throws it quick in the slot to Bishler. Buhler right there to wrap him up, though. Cameron Campbell at the 32. That'll be 7 yards to Bishler on 1st down, but not allowing yards after catch. So far tonight, they have limited the big plays, and that has been key.
Yeah, the Crusaders have been right there after the few catches that they've had this evening.
4:23 to go in the 3rd. It'll be 2nd down and 3 after that 7-yard gain. Evans rush off the edge, and he's going to be dropped back at the 25. Another sack for the Crusader Black Knights. This time, give it to Jarrett Christensen.
Yeah, Christensen arrived on time and angry as he drops him for the big loss. And so just when Evans feels like he's going to have some positive rushing yards, it gets taken away that time by Christensen.
They didn't let the big guy eat before the game. He's hungry. Back at the 26. It is a loss of 6, 3rd down and 9.
So big 3rd down junction here if the Crusaders can hold him here.
Clock running, 3:41 to go in the 3rd, 35-0. Trips left, single receiver far side. Nolan to the backfield with Evans. Evans to throw to Bishler in the shot. in the slot right there at the hash mark of the 32. He's going to be shy by 2 yards of the first down.
Yeah, great job that time, Campbell, as well as Tanner Tushin and on the stop. And I tell you what, even though it's 4th and 3 and they're deep in their own territory, Lee Weber he's going to go for it, I think, fellas.
Getting down to where it's your season. Rose Hill 0 for 6 tonight on 3rd down tries. Circle was 0 of 10 last week. 4th down and 3. 3 minutes even to go in the 3rd. 35-0. It'll be Bryson Evans, the senior quarterback, out of the gun. Nolan behind him. They'll give it to Nolan, trying to get to the edge. Ooh, they had him. And then he spins out of a tackle. It's going to be really close to the first down. Matthew Eddy, the linebacker, had him for a loss. Nolan squirted free, and we'll see it's, again, all about the spot here. The nose of the football is shy, but I don't know, shy of the 35.
Oh,
they're going to have to measure again.
I tell you what. And this is one of those situations, too, guys, when you're up 35-0, a lot of times officiating crews to try to just a little bit of mercy. But I think with us having the measurement earlier, they're going to have a second measurement of this 3rd quarter.
Boy, Matthew Eddy did everything right. He was right there. Nolan slipped out of his grasp.
And, guys, right now while we're waiting, I just want to give my brother a quick shout-out. The big 1-4. I'm going to have to be in the passenger seat soon, just freaking out when he's driving. So happy birthday, Braden.
They call him Slippery?
No,
not Slippery. No, they gave him the first down.
I got scared there for a second, fellas.
We got this under control. I don't know what you're worried about. So what is your brother, what is his thing? What does he love to do?
He likes to hang out with his friends. He's pretty much a social guy. Loves video games.
There you go.
Tell him I challenge him to a game of Super Tecmo Bowl.
Rose Hill, 3 of 4 on 4th down tonight. Trips right, 1st and 10 at the 35. Evans unloads, got a guy open, hits him in stride at the 40. Chased down from behind by Cameron Campbell. Inside the Bueller 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 after a big throw.
Yeah, just a go route for Campbell Green. They went trips to the right-hand side, got a single coverage here on the near side against Cameron Campbell, and that time Green was just able to get behind Campbell, and a nice delivery that time.
36 yards down to the 29.
And I believe that is the longest that is the biggest gainer tonight for Rose Hill offensively.
2:13 to play here in the 3rd. Trips right, single receiver left. Bryson Evans out of the gun. Throws quickly in the slot. And, rare mistake from Bischler. He dropped the football incomplete.
He heard footsteps. Levi Perez was right there in the vicinity. Perez, of course, had the big scoop and score earlier. The senior providing some good leadership there as one of the high safeties.
Is that the Save a Horse song? We're coming to your city.
Well, Perez is really doing a great job out there as one of those senior leaders for the small senior class.
2nd down and 10 at the 29 after the incompletion clock stop. There's play action, the fake, they throw. Bischler catches it. Evans was on the run being pursued by Coffey. Pass is caught, but it's going to go for no gain.
And a flag down in the backfield. Matthew Eddy out there in coverage as well. Eddy showing some popping skills there as he hit the much bigger Bischler, and the penalty will be a hold on Rose Hill.
Well, I think if not for the hold, Evans might have got planted in the backfield.
Yeah, it was Jarrett Christensen coming back into the backfield yet again. And so now 2nd and an eternity for the Rockets.
That pushes the ball back to the 43-yard line. And a loss of 14. 2nd and 24. Buck 44 left in the 3rd. Quick throw near side cut, 45-40. The screen play to the 20, 15, 5. Touchdown Rose Hill. The pass to Chase Green with 1:33 left here in the 3rd. First touchdown tonight on a 10-play drive by the Rockets.
Well, Chase Green having some success that time. It's just a little slip screen as they had all of the receivers on the near side just jam the D-backs. So it was a real easy throw for Evans here in the near flat. And Green, he has both of the big plays tonight for Rose Hill, and he takes it in there from over 40 yards out.
1:33 left in the 3rd.
I don't know if you saw, but they gave Eddie got held big time.
Rose Hill looks like they're going to go for two here. They'll hand it off to Nolan. Can he slip into the end zone? He does. Just the second two-point conversion successful against the Crusaders this year. And it's 35-8, $1:33 left here in the third. Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Hutch has been synonymous with salt dating back to its discovery here in 1887. Cargill is synonymous with salt. Cargill Salt of Hutch. Proud to support the schools of Reno County. Collaborate, create, succeed. Cargill Salt of Hutchinson.
Come visit us at Bueller Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have some fun and get to know you while you spend time with us. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment, or email online at drdalls@gmail.com. Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Rose Hill to kick off with $1:33 left in the third. 35-8. That is a live ball. It can hit off of Deontay Campbell. It is kicked again, and Bueller's going to fall on it back at the 10-yard line. Boy, some bad luck there for the Crusaders. Rockets scored, Chris. Here's the problem with that. It took them 11 minutes to get a score. That happens again, the game is over.
Yeah, the Crusaders just need some long, sustained drives, burn that clock. But now, Rose Hill, after the muffed kickoff return, has their best, or the Crusaders with their worst field position of the night, with a full 90 yards to go to pay dirt here.
1st and 10 after ball was bounced off a couple of Crusaders there from the 10-yard line. Van Bruggen, the tight end, lined up on the far side of the I formation. Brad takes the snap, hands off to Sam. Sam up the middle, and forward progress to the 15, gets out of a tackle. There's at least two flags out and what could be a face mask against Sam Elliott.
Yeah, we could see his head jerk around clear from up here. And I think that's going to be a 15-yarder as Sam's entire head turned all the way around.
First progress, forward progress at the 18. Well, Bueller's only other playoff appearance against these Rockets came back in 2009 in Bueller, and Bueller just dominated the game. Unfortunately, that is the game where Jordan Oden got hurt, was not able to play the rest of the season. And Coach talked to Oden this past week. Jordan, what are your thoughts on the Rockets? He did not have anything nice to say.
I was going to say, I know that will be a play. My dad still talks about all the time that this coaching staff will never forget.
Forward progress with a penalty up to the 33. That is the 6th penalty of the night on Rose Hill. Elliott back to the ground, inside handoff across the 35. And forward progress to the 36-yard line. Jordan Oden, so good. They would lose to Topeka Hayden without Oden the next week. 3 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 7. 43 seconds to go in the third. This might be the final play of the third quarter coming right here.
Well, this Bueller offense was built for this type of situation. Big lead, being able to run the football and chew clock.
Two tight ends, including Henderson, in there on the far side. Fullback handoff. Coffee across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. That'll be 6 for Coffee to the 41, make it 5 to the 41. And they don't have to snap the ball again in the third quarter.
And they're not going to, and what a great carry there by Coffee on the fullback trap.
That'll get us to the end of the third. Bueller up, looking for a potential rematch next week with McPherson. 35-8 after 3 on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
On your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
This is Rod from Rod's Tire and Service in Hillsboro. Carrie, myself, and our entire staff want to let you know that we are still open to keep you rolling. We encourage customers to take advantage of our vehicle pickup and drop-off service. We can pick your vehicle up for new tires or service and return it to your house or business. Our farm service trucks are ready as always. We all need to do our part to keep ourselves and those around us healthy and safe. From all of us at Rod's Tire and Service, we thank you for your continued support and business. Your one-stop complete source for Firestone tires is Rod's Tire and Service in Hillsboro.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
A little bit of a shocker just down the road for us in Andover tonight, Christopher. How about the Bulldogs on our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard?
Yeah, the Arc City Bulldogs currently lead Andover Central 38-12. And they were one of the schools I was really frightened of in the West, and they are going down in flames.
Out to bite the dust. Wow, 3rd down and 2 here for the Crusaders to start the 4th. Going right to left in the 4th toward the north end zone. 2 tight ends in the eye. And Sam will get the carry, patient, waiting for his blocks, but he's not going to get the first down. He stopped at the 42 and needed 2. He got 1.
So now the Crusaders, and if I was Coach Warner, I'd be half tempted to go for it here to just melt more clock, and that's exactly what the boys in maroon and white are going to do here. Go for it and keep that offense on the field.
Dalen Coffey will rotate back in.
Keep that rocket offense off the field.
Brock McCurdy goes out, looking at a 4th and 1. They can convert, moves the chains. 3 backs behind Neal in the backfield. It'll be Elliott, and he's got the first down. Forward progress to the 44-yard line. He needed 1, he got 2, move the chains.
Yep, keep those sticks moving, and the possession stays in Bueller's hands. Clock will wind. And, fellas, if we can have another long drive like we had to open the 3rd, this thing will be on ice.
Good night, Nurse. Mays leading Mays South now 35-14. Another 4A score, Baser Linwood 6, Eudora 6. That is a 3rd quarter score. Tight one there. Haven has taken the lead over Trinity Catholic 12-6 in the second half. Little River 28, Clifton Clyde 12 and 8 man. 1st and 10, 44-yard line. Out of the eye. Play action. Throw. Ooh, did he pick it up off the turf? Yes. Henderson, the second tight end at the 45. I didn't touch the turf, Mr. Official.
Well, Ryan Henderson did exactly what you want to do. You sell it like it's a catch, make the official make the call. But, yeah, that time there was a defender just bearing down on Bradley Neal, so he had to unleash it.
He made the right read.
Yes.
Just to throw a little low, and Rhino had to try and scoop it off the turf.
Yeah, just some bootleg action that time, and defender got Wesley Miller had to block 2 and was only able to get 1.
2nd and 10 at the 44. Stay with 2 tight ends, single receiver, 5 side. Brad under center. 7 of the play clock as he snaps. Here is Elliott. Breaks out of a tackle from behind at the 50. Angling toward the far first down marker on the Bueller sideline. And I think he's out right at the Rose Hill 45, and that should be enough to move the sticks yet again. 11 yards on that play for Sam Elliott.
Well, Sam really had to hit the afterburners that time, as it looked like he was going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And, guys, it looked like he found another gear over there on the far right.
It's like he was doing a 0 to 60-second test on his truck.
Yeah. Canton Galva up big on Burlingame now, 56-6 in the second half. 1st and 10 at the 45. Neal under center, McCurdy the receiver to the near side. Here's Sam, inside handoff, breaks out of a tackle, 40, 45, and down to the 32-yard line. Well,
Cade Evans saved Rose Hill's bacon that time. If he didn't make that tackle, Sam scoring.
They came in wanting to key on Sam Elliott. Unfortunately for the Rockets, Sam Elliott has only gotten stronger as this game has gone along.
Yeah, good backs like him just continue. And it's one of those things that's it's a mental thing. They just start wearing you down. You just get tired of seeing number 20 taking handoff after handoff and just not getting tired whatsoever.
13 more there for Sam. 1st and 10 from the 32. Single receiver near side is Dalen Coffey on 1st down. Back to Elliott. Waiting patiently, spins out of another tackle across the 30. And then a little extracurricular after the whistle. Forward progress up to the 27 for Sam Elliott.
Well, I know I was just looking over your shoulder there, Tyler. You got a Bueller Dental Care scoreboard update of our brethren over at Gowans.
Well, we got the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles over the Hutch Salt Hawks, 28-21 in the third quarter right now.
A tight one there in 5A. 2nd and 5, gain of 5 by Sam Elliott. Rowland and Elliott behind Neal under center. Snaps with 5 on the play clock. Fullback handoff, flag comes out after the snap. Calling close to a first down at the 20. We'll see if it's coming back.
Yeah, the fullback trap has been money tonight for Rowland because the entire world is worried about where Sam Elliott is. And I tell you what, a smart heads-up move that time before the play. Bradley Neal waiting for the play clock to burn down. The Crusaders really can shorten this game up if they just burn that play clock down every single down.
Illegal procedure, 5th penalty of the night on Rose Hill. Or on Bueller, excuse me. So instead of a first down, we're looking at 2nd down and 10.
Well, back like Sam Elliott, you're just thinking, hey, I can get 5 more yards.
At the 32. And a flag comes out. And they're going to call a false start.
Illegal procedure on Bueller.
So back-to-back penalties now put the Crusaders with maybe their worst down and distance of the entire night.
2nd and 15 back at the 38.
One interesting thing, guys, we have not scored yet in this third quarter, or this entire second half, excuse me.
Oh, wow.
It's 35-0 at the half.
We have 8:27 left. It's 35-8. A lot of yards chewed up on the ground here in the second half by the Crusaders. 2 tight end sets, 2nd and 15. They're going to keep it with Elliott, looking on the right side, and he'll get back to the 46. 36, excuse me.
It's a 3rd and 14.
That'll be a gain of 2.
So the Crusaders probably in 4 down. Well, we'll just have to see what they gain here because you'd really have to try to coffin corner one here. And they might go for it if they can pick up 7-5 yards and get it somewhere under 4th and 10.
3rd and 14. Coffey receiver to the near side. McCurdy to the far. Neal under center. Play fake. Wants to throw. Steps up over the middle looking for his tight end. And that is incomplete. Little high for Van Bruggen at the 25.
So clock stops on the incompletion with 7:43. And so the Crusaders now will try the first punt of the evening. And Jeffrey Neal's going to try to angle one here and coffin corner him deep here.
He has 7 inside the 20 this season since he took over as the punter. Garden Plain now leading Hillsborough 25-7. Carroll up 28-21 over Hutch, as we mentioned, second half. Wamego now 21-18 over El Dorado. And Jeffrey, oh no, took a wrong bounce, bounced inside the 5 and out of the back of the end zone.
Well, so the Crusaders will still net around 16 yards on the punt.
You know, you were mentioning that they have not scored in the second half, but they have had 2 long drives that have eaten up a ton of clock.
Yeah, back in that third quarter in my little stat spreadsheet, the Crusaders nearly used up the entire thing on downs just on that first drive to open the third quarter. Even though we didn't score on it, we took over half the quarter away.
Rockets from their own 20, trailing 35-8. 7:36 to go in the fourth. Bryson Evans out of the gun. Pump fakes, now throws again. Coming one-on-one to the near side. Ooh, what a catch. What a catch by Trevor Kaiser, falling backwards out of bounds. Tight coverage on the play at the 45. That was impressive for 25 yards.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you just have to do the tip of the cap because the Crusaders were in great coverage that time. It was Campbell here on the near side, but Kaiser just showed some athleticism hauling that in.
1st and 10 at the 45. Evans out of the gun. Pressure off the edges.
Screen.
Throw over the middle of the screen pass at the 50, 45, and Nolan drug down from behind at the 42-yard line. And a flag out at the end of the play. That is going to be a personal foul penalty on somebody.
And it came in late, so it's probably magic words being said. Hopefully it was Rose Hill flapping their gums and not our guys.
That is 13 yards on the screen pass.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Rose Hill.
Rose Hill will pick up the penalty, so
they'll get the first down, and then the yardage comes after.
So now Rose Hill will have a 1st and 25. So let's see if this Black Knight defense can capitalize. Roseville had some success.
How many plays in your high school career, Chris, in your coaching career, did you end up with -2 yards but still get the first down?
Doesn't happen every day at the office, I'll tell you that.
I mean, they start at the 45, 13-yard pass, but then with a penalty.
Wow, that's...
They move back to the 43, so they actually lose 2 yards.
Wow, and I don't know if that dead ball foul, I think the stick should be clear up where it was at, not...
They're going to call it 1st and 10 from the 43. Evans looking to pass, rushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be chased out of bounds. He'll gain about 2 to the 45. Actually, no. They're not even going to give him, well, yeah, they will, 45-yard line. So
and the Crusaders bringing in Marcus Voss to try to bring in some speed on the two-tech, and Marcus with some nice pursuit right there.
It was great containment just to force him out of bounds.
Chased him out of bounds after a gain of 2. You mentioned some changes on that line with Blick and now Voss in there. Van Bruggen and Coffey, 2nd down and 9. Gain of 1 to the 44. Evans in trouble again. He's going to be dropped back at the 40-yard line. The pocket collapsed, and Dalen Coffey and Bo Van Bruggen right there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, we talked about it earlier. The Crusaders are getting this pressure with just bringing the 4 linemen. They are not blitzing linebackers. They're getting pressure. That gives your defense so many – it just leaves you so much more protected because your linebackers can be in coverage. Front 4 for Buhler has just been pouring through that Rose Hill line.
No answer that time for the defensive ends. It'll be 3rd down and 13. Evans to throw. Hit as he throws. It is tipped and almost picked off and then almost caught. The Buhler defender almost had it, tipped it, and then Kale Kocic for Rose Hill. Almost grabbed it, bobbled it around. It ends up incomplete.
But great job. That was all set up by Van Bruggen and Coffey, just obliterating Evans right as he delivered the football.
Boy, that had pick 6 written all over it.
It did. There was nobody in the flats. If either of the Crusaders over there had been able to pick it, it would have been a second possible defensive touchdown tonight for the Crusaders.
Well, because the front 4 has been playing so well, we don't even need anybody else to rush.
4th and 13. Rockets have to go for it with their season on the line. Trips far side, 2 to the near side. Empty backfield. Evans over the middle, slings it. No way, what a play. Deontay Campbell knocks the ball out of the hands of the receiver at the Buhler 40.
Well, I tell you what, the Campbell brothers, we've said it over and over again. They came to play that time. Deontay just got his hands in the cookie jar enough to just get in the receiver's head, and just great physicality out of that Buhler secondary.
What a play. Knocks the ball away from Spencer Nolan. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
The Rockets will play Lewisburg tomorrow at noon in the 3rd place game.
Well, I tell you what, you know, this secondary was a part of this team after that Goddard game. I had so many people in town saying, oh, our secondary's not that good. Those kids have just continued to get better as the season's gone on.
Buhler from the Rose Hill 40. They're going to keep it on the ground. Levi Atherton in there at fullback now, blocking for Elliott. Far side run. And he'll get forward progress across the 35 to the 34. Give him 6 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, it was the first toss sweep the Crusaders have tried tonight, and Elliott really showing some of his strength that time, as it took about 5 Rockets to bring him down after that 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, it'd be hard not to give the game ball to the secondary tonight. It's the job they have done. 2nd down and 4 from the far hash mark. 5:44 left, 35-8 Crusaders. High formation, they'll go with a jet sweep across the formation. McCurdy, he's got the ball to the outside, gets to the edge at the 30, 35, and chased out of bounds near the 20. And one of the more successful jet sweeps we've seen this season, chased out of bounds at the 21. It goes for a gain of 13.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Aaron. I think that's probably the best carry that Brock's had, and just did a great job of once he got to the edge of turning it upfield and making something happen that time.
Well, yeah, great job by Brock McCurdy. Move the chains at the 21. 1st and 10 Crusaders. Brad's going to be under center. Eddie at a wide receiver to the near side now. They'll pitch it. Get Atherton in at fullback. Flag out. Elliott's across the 15 and down to the 13. We'll see what the penalty marker here on this near side is all about. It's down at the 20-yard line. It's going to go against the Crusaders.
So not everybody was set at the snap of the football, so it wipes away that nice run there by Sam Elliott. But to talk about the game ball going to the secondary, Aaron, man, as the old coach, I can think about the offensive line might have something to say about the effort. But, yeah, it has been a good night for the Crusaders.
Tell you what, with another new guy up on that line tonight, kudos to them.
Well, and this has been the type of game that Coach Coles and Coach Warner want. Running the football, out of the eye, smash mouth football, an aggressive effort by the defense. It's been a good night.
1st and 15. They'll pitch far side. Elliott, good block on the edge by Van Bruggen to the 20, to the 10. Bo Van Bruggen sets up a nice run by Elliott inside the 15. They'll mark him out of bounds where? At the 13-yard line.
So nice hard run that time by Elliott. And you mentioned Bo Van Bruggen actually was kicking the defensive end out. Sam actually went outside, but Bo did such a nice job of blocking him that he wasn't able to get into the play.
Gain of 13 by Elliott. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2 in the Rocket red zone. 4:22 to go, 35-8. 2 receivers, fullback, handoff inside. Levi Atherton, first touchdown of the season for the junior and at fullback. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Well, it's been a good night for the fullbacks for Crusaders. That's the 2nd rushing touchdown for the fullbacks tonight, and Atherton takes it in on a play that Colin Rowlands had some hay on tonight. Nice 14-yard carry right up the gut by Atherton.
4:15 to play. Bueller first score of the second half. Jeff Neal trying to stay perfect on for the PAT from the 10. Muller to snap. The hold by Brad. Kick is up and good. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to victory. Here in Rose Hill tonight, Bueller 42, Rose Hill 8 on HKFM of the Crusaders Sports Network.
With APAC Kansas Shares Division. You know we do big projects, but we also want you to know we can help you with parking lots, driveways, and other projects at your home or business. Asphalt or concrete, we're here to help. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Moundridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member-owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Moundridge. Member NCUA.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, we're talking about giving game balls, and I don't think there's an area on this team that hasn't come up big in some way tonight.
It has been a great team effort across the board. And I tell you what, the Crusaders are hitting on all cylinders here as they're in the 2nd week of the playoffs.
All taken on the squib at the 25, and forward progress back across the 30 with 4:08 to play. Levi Atherton with first score of the second half for the Crusaders. First touchdown of the season for the backup fullback.
And he's been one of the big offensive guys playing fullback for that JV team whose season's wrapped up now. But I tell you what, at this point right now for the Crusader defense, you just want to try to keep him to that 1 score tonight.
Rockets from their own 31. Only score in the second half out of the spread. Evans to throw in traffic and incomplete. Dropped. Boy, and Kocic, he had it in traffic and lost it at the 50.
And I tell you what, Deontay Campbell, yet again, he is knocking the ball around. He has been having to guard these good receivers from Rose Hill and just doing a fantastic job dealing with guys way bigger than him. Kocic, 6'2", 215. Campbell's given up over 50 pounds and doing a great job.
2nd down and 10 at the 31. Clock stop, 4:01 to play. 4 receivers set. Evans out of the gun to throw, slings it over the middle, high and incomplete. Intended for Trevor Kaiser over the middle at the 50 that time with Cameron Campbell in coverage.
Well, the Crusader secondary still playing with some intensity, and just the defense in general. That's the thing. Sometimes in a game like this, you're up big. You know, you maybe have a tendency to let down. These guys want to keep them down to that one score tonight.
Tanner Tushton, the Mike linebacker, all the way up at the 52, hustling to get in on that play. Third down at the 31. Empty backfield set, 5 wide receivers. Rockets have not converted a third down tonight. Pressure hit as he throws and overthrown. And Marcus Voss gets to the quarterback and forces an early throw, and it'll be 4th down.
There is a flag out, unfortunately, back behind the line of scrimmage. We'll hope that it's a hold.
Voss could have leveled Bryson Evans, and he did not.
It will be a hold. The Crusaders will decline. And so Rose Hill will go 3 and out. This defense still playing with some great intensity tonight, fellas.
You know, Rockets are going to have to, I mean, this is it. They have to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 10 at the 31, down 42-8, 3:51 to go. Bryson Evans out of the gun. 4 wide receivers. Evans flushed out of the pocket, being chased to the near side. Let's go of it. High, incomplete, intended for Kaiser. Dalen Coffey there chasing the quarterback as he had to sling it loose and incomplete. James Blick also in on the coverage.
And I tell you what, excellent job. I mean, Coach Coles has shown a lot of faith in his secondary. They've been running pretty much straight man tonight. That's one of the hardest things to do defensively is play man coverage in the secondary. And the Crusaders have done it beautifully tonight as the second team offense comes onto the field in a playoff game, second round, deep in Rose Hill territory.
Well, Chris, when you were talking about how the DBs are so undersized, that's my life motto. It's not the size of the fight. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
They have just continued to get better as the season goes on. And so much of sports is being hot at the right time. The Crusaders looking really good in these last 2 games.
1st and 10 at the Rose Hill 31. Jeff Neal in at quarterback. And he'll flip it to Gavin Patton. Gets a block on the edge across the 25.
Gavin Patton with a nice carry, his first of the night.
Down to the 23.
And if you're
go for 8 yards.
If you're Gavin Patton, this is a fun situation to be in because this defense is just absolutely worn to smithereens by Sam Elliott coming at him. Now Gavin's getting to come out of the bullpen like a relief pitcher, throwing some heat.
Wise Carver goes off the field. Grant Ricker comes in. Ostrom also off the field. And here is Patton on an inside handoff. Little juke move across the 20. He's got the first down. Down to the 17-yard line.
Another nice carry by Patton.
6 more yards by Gavin Patton.
Just chewing up time, chewing up yards as we go under 3 minutes.
You know, I mentioned this before, but I'm really excited. I think he and Elliott next year on the same field together can really cause some headaches for defenses.
Yeah, Gavin Patton's a special back. I mean, I've got to see him play since little kid ball, and he's a kid, if he can get into space, he can make you pay.
You know, and how fortunate for him to be mentored by a guy like Elliott. 1st and 10 at the 17. Too tight set. Here's Patton again. Inside carry across the 15. And forward progress up to the 13-yard line.
Well, and Tyler, you always talk about the mentoring for these two doesn't just end at the football season. Let's talk a little bit about wrestling.
Well, so Gavin Patton was Sam's practice partner basically the whole year last year, and Sam ended up winning state. So I'd say Gavin has a huge part on that. There's rumors he might not wrestle this year.
And Sam Elliott, preseason ranked number 1 at 160.
Number 1.
Yeah. 2nd down and 5 after the gain of 5. They'll flip it to Marcus Voss now out there, try to use his speed to get to the edge. Cuts inside a would-be tackler. And then is brought down as Marcus. And he'll lose.
Short loss in the play.
Actually, we're going to call it no gain at the 13.
So the second string offense trying to get 6 here themselves with a 3rd and long situation. Clock continues to bleed.
1:28 left. 3rd and 6 coming up in a 42-8 game. Bueller's going to win their 6th on the season. They'll improve to 6-3. Rockets will end their year at 6-4. That'll snap a 6-game winning streak. Neal under center in the I formation. 3rd down and 6. Gavin Patton back in there at tailback, gets the handoff, puts the helmet down, fumble, ball loose at the 10. Who's got it? Looks like the Rockets have it at the 11-yard line.
So a couple yard pickup for Patton. We'll give the ball back to Rosehill after the fumble. And with 62 seconds left, it'll be interesting to see if Rosehill tries to just go crazy here. As
from their own 11-yard line.
And that kind of dictates what the Crusaders do. They are going to keep their first string offense out there.
Rosehill's had a great season under third-year head coach Lee Weber. Came from Wamego, where he spent 3 years. Wamego, second half, leading El Dorado in the second round of the playoffs tonight. 1st and 10 at the 11. Evans out of the gun. They'll go on the ground to Nolan. Nolan, another one of those seniors. Across the 15 up to the 18-yard line. Picks up 7. Down to 50 seconds left in the game.
Clock continuing to roll. The Crusaders with a whole slug of defensive substitutions out there right now.
Rosehill down to their final couple of plays of the season. It's been a good one for the Rockets. League has been competitive. Far side run. That'll get a first down and then some across the 25 to the 27. Nolan again.
Trace Ward in on the stop along with Brock McCurdy. Trace was one of the sophomores that was in on the stop last week at the end of the circle game to keep the 0 first down game afloat.
On the 28, this will be the final play of the game. Nolan across the 30 and brought down. Brock McCurdy gets him at the 35, and that should run the clock out. Crusaders are moving on to week 3 of the 4A state playoffs. 2-0 in these 2020 playoffs. And we believe next to Friday night, a rematch. That'll, well, if you can't get fired up over one to beat McPherson, you've got no pulse.
You've got no pulse whatsoever.
Oh my goodness. Mac has had the upper hand in the series in the last handful of years. Of course, go back to 17, lost that heartbreaker in overtime. Last time we were there in the postseason. And watch out for the 2-point conversion to win it in overtime. Goodness.
Well, I tell you, and something that I'm really impressed with our boys, and this is something that some teams, when you've got a rival like McPherson, you know, on your side of the bracket, you've got somebody week 1 like Circle in the playoffs, you could maybe look ahead to that rematch. These guys, Aaron, have come to play back-to-back weeks and haven't put the cart before the horse, taking care of business so they get the opportunity for the rematch.
Well, the day after even they lost to McPherson the first round, the first time, I asked them, so what do you like? I asked them what they thought, and they're like, I want to go back. I want to play them next week.
42-8, the final. Bueller wins it. Headed to McPherson next week. Our Shirt Shack postgame wraps it up when we come back on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Listening to exclusive coverage of Crusader football on HKFM. Stay tuned for the Shirt Shack postgame show. We'll bring you analysis and break down the numbers from tonight's game. The Bueller Crusaders on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Do you bleed maroon and white? Do you want to help the students of BHS in their extracurricular activities? The Bueller High Booster Club helps support hundreds of students each year. To join, stop by the Bueller Closet at any home game or email BuellerBoosterClub@gmail.com.
Like annual physicals, a yearly financial checkup can help make sure you're on track for well-being. This is Monty Cross with HCU Investment and Insurance Services, and we specialize in thoughtful investment guidance aimed at keeping your finances in shape. To schedule a checkup with a financial consultant, visit hcu.coop/checkup or call 620-669-0177. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance products offered through LPL Financial or its licensed affiliates.
Hi, this is Cliff Ray with Ray & Sons Roofing Company, and today I brought our 4-year-old grandson, Brogan. Brogan, did you know Ray & Sons Roofing is 80 years old this year? Do you know what that means?
No, Papa.
It means we have a lot of experience. Brogan, did you know we have been the best of the best every year? You know what that means?
What, Papa?
People trust us, and that's a very good thing. For a free inspection or estimate, go to rayandsons.com.
Roof the right way, the right way.
First National Bank is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. We have an experienced staff prepared to provide you with a variety of banking solutions. Please visit our website, fnbhutch.bank. That's fnbhutch.bank for more information. First National Bank of Hutchinson, we're first for you.
Visit one of the First's 5 convenient locations in Hutchinson, including inside Dillon's Marketplace. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, welcome back on our Shirt Shack postgame Crusader football, live from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth tonight. Brought to you in part by H&R Block, by Cargill Salt, Crable Tree Clearing by Sheila Metzger Agency, and by Midway Motors. Bueller wins it 42-8 here in the second week of the 4A state playoffs, improving their season record to 5, make it now 6-3. They've won 3 straight, and we'll get to our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard in just a bit. We assume a rematch with McPherson next Friday. Bueller 4 of 4 on the scoring opportunities in the first half. They had 5 touchdowns altogether, plus the fumble recovery and the defensive score. That was the first score of the game by Levi Perez. Bueller led 14-0 within the blink of an eye. They were up big and never looked back. 4 offensive scores in the second half, in the first half, just 1 in the second half, but they're, I think if we looked at the time of possession numbers in the second half, they moved the ball a ton and ate up most of the third quarter and then most of the fourth quarter. The lone score was the 13-yard run by Levi Atherton. With 4:15 to go in the fourth, that made it 42-8. Rose Hill's only score in this game came on a 43-yard pass play on third down from Bryson Evans to Chase Green. 1:33 to go in the third. They went for 2 and converted. At that point, it was 35-8. That was the only score of the night by Rose Hill. They did get some positive yards, Christopher, in the second half. But Bueller's defense came to play tonight, and they were fantastic.
Yeah, the defense, I mean, and that's the thing. When you have a great defensive game, it's all members of the defense contributing, doing their assignments. You know, I mean, because it starts off that D-line. The D-line got pressure on Evans all night. The Crusaders did not have to blitz. So that great pressure from the D-line then allowed the secondary, or excuse me, the linebackers to do such a great job underneath on all those short underneath safety routes. And so then Evans was forced to try to throw the ball vertically, and that's where, you know, the 4 guys at the back end, the secondary did just such a great job being physical, and they tackled so well tonight, gang tackles. There was hardly any solo tackles made tonight. And, you know, when they watch the film and you just see maroon hats around every ball carrier or receiver, you know, over time, I mean, that's one of those things that just wears down an offense. And the Crusader defense, the Black Knights, they came to play tonight.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic game. The offense got better as the game went along. Rose Hill pretty stiff early in the first on the running play. But even though they were keying on Sam, and give credit to the offensive line with Wesley Miller getting his first start tonight, but Sam got stronger as the game went along, and he had another great night.
Oh, he had a huge night, and just yeah, you talked about the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line dealt with probably the best guy they're going to go against talent-wise on the D-line, and they didn't run away from him. They ran right at him, and just time after time after time, Sam would go into the pile, and the pile would continue to move forward. That's a testament to him. It's a testament to all 5 of those guys up front blocking, as well as the tight end. Tight ends don't like to get left out on that O-line when you have a good blocking night, so Bo Van Bruggen and the 5 boys up front did a heck of a job just surging.
And quite often here in these playoffs, we've gone with a 2 tight end set, so really putting some extra muscle up front.
Yeah,
so.
Coffey did a good job when he came in and played tight end, and Henderson. I mean, it's just one of those nights where, I mean, I can think down the roster, I mean, just player after player after player that made a contribution to tonight's victory.
Another one, statistically, it may not be his biggest statistical night of the year, but I think of the games played in 2020 so far, that was Bradley Neal's best game at quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A very, he's not a guy that we need. He doesn't have to complete 17, 20 passes in a game. We just need him to be efficient and effective. And tonight he did a great job on the play actions. And he just was a really good game manager tonight. He didn't make really any crazy throws. He really, made safe, good throws. And, just did a great job taking care of it. That's something that just a quarterback not turning the ball over, people kind of take that for granted sometimes, but he didn't have a single turnover tonight, and that's a testament of him playing so well in the huddle tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. And at one point, Peter was 3 of 3. Yes, 3 for 3, right? Is that how you say that?
Yes.
On third down plays, and they were all pass plays by Brad Neal.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
And those are scary throws. I mean, when you're a quarterback having to convert on third down, those are scary for the receiver. Those are scary for the quarterback. And he just did a nice job of keeping the ball down tonight, and hitting the receivers right on the numbers. And this was a fun night to get to call a football team that is just continuing to get better in all facets of the game.
Well, those first 3 passes were all on third down.
Yeah. And he converted all of them. I think one of them was the touchdown. Was it not to Rhino?
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
And you talk about Aaron all the time. I know you're a big, long, sustained drive guy, as I am. Tonight, Coach Warner is going to be so pleased just because we did such a nice job. I mean, you think about that first drive in the third quarter, a drive that didn't even net any points for the Crusaders.
Got all the way down to the 11.
And it took over half of the of the third quarter, and just completely just took the wind out of whatever wind Rose Hill maybe had built up in the locker room. That's one of those drives that just takes it out of the other team.
And we're not sore losers. I think that drive got stopped on a bad spot is what happened. But
yeah,
hey, we'll take the win and move on. Good stuff tonight. Well, our play of the game, I have a play in mind. We'll see how you guys feel about this. So our Phillip of the game tonight, brought to you by Dick's Phillips 66. Fill up on top-tier gasoline, snacks, and more at Dick's Phillips 66. Family-owned for nearly 60 years. Every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens. I kind of have a 1A and a 1B, and I'm not sure which order to put them in. One, obviously the big run by Sam. I think 74 yards. Biggest run of the year is fantastic. The other one, man, I like the touchdown play to Ryan Henderson.
Okay, wow. See, I'm going to go with a completely different one.
Completely out of left field.
I tell you, a game or a play that I really feel like helped to snap this game open was the fumble recovery by Perez, clear back in that first quarter.
Yeah.
That just really was one of those things that, this Rose Hill offense is an offense that, I mean, they've been putting up huge numbers. They've thrown for over 1,700 yards, and I really feel like that.
I wish I know who. We'll go back and look at it on film. I wish I knew who jarred that ball loose.
Yeah, but it's one of those. It's hard to make it a play of the game if you don't know who knocked out. But Perez took it to the house, and that was just. But I feel like that was just a great example of it showed Rose Hill that our secondary came to play and just kind of set the tone physicality wise of the defense.
All right, Adams, we'll let you be the tiebreaker here.
I'm actually gonna go with the pick at the end of the first half. Because Rose Hill was trying to get.
Now we're up to 4 plays.
Well, Rose Hill was trying to get any momentum they wanted, and then for the pick at the end of the half.
All right, well, we might have to let Coach settle this. Our post-game comments from Coach Warner. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a big win tonight. And I really think a team win. I mean, you can look at a lot of individual performances, but I really think a team win tonight for you guys.
I agree 100%. I just felt like, we came out. Defense stopped them, got the touchdown right away, and then offense just put the pedal down. Special teams were good. I mean, we're finally made every extra point. Just a lot of great things tonight. And you knew all along we were an inexperienced team. We just keep getting better and better every week. And, the Wellington game was still a hiccup, and I think it made us better. And I'm just so proud of these kids. And just to see them excited and fired up in the locker room like they are right now, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think fair to say there were probably some people still questioning the secondary coming into this game, but man, did they step up. And I thought this was their best game of the year.
I do too. And I mean, because we knew it, we were getting so close, but now we're breaking balls up. We're not only just there, now we're breaking balls up and taking receptions away from them. So I agree. And another great thing is the pressure that we got on the quarterback. I thought it was outstanding. And just an absolute blast, and just so proud of these kids.
Yeah, they go into the game, you can tell, keying on Sam Elliott, wanting to shut him down, and they did for maybe the first couple of plays, but after that, he just got stronger like he always does. Give his line some credit, but just got stronger as the game went on.
Well, on the line, there were just some times when the Surge was just moving back, even with their big D1 player. We were pushing him back 5 yards, and then Sam could make a decision. And he's just so tough. And I don't know how many yards he had or anything, but wow, what a performance by him and the offensive line.
Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of juggling for you on that line, and so that makes it even more impressive to me. The fact that group hasn't had a whole 9-10 games together. You've had to move pieces in and out, and they were still able to go out and do what they did. So.
Well, yeah, that reminds me, I forgot to tell you that we did start another offensive lineman in Wes Miller tonight, and he did an outstanding job. We had to have a player quarantined, and he stepped in. We found out yesterday and late in the afternoon, and Wes came in, just did an outstanding job for us and playing our big guard. And that's a huge position when we like to run to the ball to our big side so much, and we're very excited, needless to say.
Yeah, absolutely. One other thing I would add, efficient again in the passing game. You don't need very often are you going to ask your quarterback to win the game for you, but he did a great job of managing it tonight.
I love what he did in the first half, and the route that he threw to Ryan, we kind of picked on them a little bit. We ran the stick route, and then we went our stick and go, and Ryan was open. He found him, and that was neat. And just still moving the chains, getting us the first down. I thought his composure was much better.
Well, we don't have a final score yet, but Coach, looks like Mac is going to go on to beat Augusta tonight. So you get the rematch that's kind of been out there. You get a second chance. If you play like you did tonight, Coach, if you play like you have here in the last 3 games, I really think that you've got a good shot.
We got a chance, and that's what we wanted. We wanted a chance to play him again, and we've got that opportunity. And I think the kids realize, too, how close we are. We're one of the top 8 teams left in the state playing, and that means a lot to us. And now we're so close to having a chance to go to the state championship. I know we got to win 2 more games, but it's still now's when you start thinking about it, and that's when I think the kids even give more and they even work harder. There's something out there. It's a carrot dangling in front of our face. We want an opportunity, and we've got it.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on a team win tonight. Moving on to the playoffs feels good. Love November football, and we'll talk to you next week on our Coaches Show.
Thank you.
All right, excited, Coach Warner. Happy for his team. A team win tonight. Love that. It wasn't just one guy or 2 guys. It was 22-plus guys.
Oh, most definitely. And kind of the neat thing, too, and you guys have watched enough football to know, how there's sometimes where there's a win where you feel good about these things, but, man, you just feel like we've got to get better at this part of the game, or, man, we got lucky here because, we really struggled at this part. I mean, defensively, it was a fantastic game. You hold a team like Rose Hill. Rose Hill, their least amount of points they put up basically since September was the 30 points last week against Mulvane. They put up 40 a couple times, got almost dang near to 60 against Independence. To hold a team like that to 8, that is actually the lowest point total. We held them to even fewer points than Andale did, and Andale is just the juggernaut of the 3A West. So that was holding a good offensive team to just 1 score. That's something to be proud of. And then offensively, anytime, as a football coach and in the power eye, if you can run right at somebody and run it right down their throat and they know what's coming and they still can't stop it, that is just a thing of beauty. And it's one of those things that, this is one of those games that everybody's going to feel good about going into the weekend, getting some rest and relaxation, and really have a lot of momentum going into the rematch up in Mactown.
Yeah, it kind of brings back up what's at stake in this game as I watch a group of Rocket seniors down at the south end zone just struggling emotionally to process tonight. You always feel bad for those kids because, they didn't come in here thinking that they were going to get blown out, and they played their guts out, and, you got to tip your cap to them for a good season. And that just kind of brings it full circle. Whoa, this was big. It's either win or go home.
Yeah,
so.
It's one of those things. Every time you go to a game, starting last week, one side of the field, it's their last day of football for the season, and for the seniors, the last day of their lives for most of them. And that's one thing too. I want to speak specifically about Rose Hill. you know, Aaron, you've come down here so many years. We were talking about the crow's nest over the year. You know, just
those were the days.
Yes, this facility has gotten so much better. And other than that little blip when Coach Slade was here and they made it to the state title game, won the state title, you know, Rose Hill has been a place that's really struggled with football. And so this team, this was a good Rose Hill team, and like we talked about, the best one in probably a decade. And this might be a team that we'll have to see some of these guys down the road in the playoffs, because Coach Weber's built a nice program here, and this was not against a bad program or a bad team. This was a quality win against a very quality opponent.
Well, you can beat me up later if you want to, but I'm going with the Henderson play for the play of the. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, fellas.
Yeah.
When you have a game when you can have so many different plays that we all felt like really swung the momentum.
Absolutely.
It was just a fun night, and just so happy for these boys, and live to fight another day. And man.
Our Wivco Steel Products player of the game tonight, from storage tanks to steel walkways, stairways, and platforms. Wivco Steel Products, the expert in steel fabrication, online at wivcosp.com. If I was going to zero in on one player, we'll see if we're anywhere on the – we didn't talk about this stuff beforehand. Normally we do. If we're anywhere close to being on the same page, I would give it to a defensive guy tonight. I love the way that Deontay Campbell played. And I say that because I think those guys have taken enough flack this year. And they proved how much better they've gotten. And I don't know how many PBUs he had tonight, but at least 3 or 4.
Okay, so let's do this, because I can do this. And I'm not just doing this because he's my next-door neighbor and I love the kid. But I would say Campbell on the defensive side. And O-linemen don't get the name recognition or the shout-out. But and the center has a soft spot in my heart, because the center is the heart and soul of the offensive line. And, you know, Corey Gilbert and those guys up front, that entire offensive line, they just flat out pistol whipped a Division I athlete up there. And, you know, and so Corey, Corey's the captain. And I tell you what, they had a tall order tonight. And, and nothing against Campbell, because Campbell had a whale of a game. And, man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about some of the plays he made. But
no, and I think that's when we talk about the team win, it's great that we could probably pick 11 or 12 guys to give it to tonight.
Yeah, just a fun night. Oh yeah, you're make Tyler be the kingmaker here.
Well, he's probably got somebody totally different. So,
this college game day being Lee Corso, not so fast. But I got to be with Aaron on this one. Props to Big Snack though. Props to Big Snack. But Deontay just played. He had so many PBUs, and some of those were just scoring, saving plays. So just to give it to Deontay, because he had a whale of a game.
I mean, you could obviously Sam has another great game. I thought Brad had a great game. Our defensive line was awesome tonight. Wesley Miller, hey, go start at big tackle, buddy.
Yes,
that's the side that we run to all the time.
And Wesley did a great job. I mean, stepping in, getting his first ever start, and got to watch him on a JV playing, doing a nice job. But just
good stuff.
Fun night to be a Crusader.
All right, we'll come back, final stats, and wrap it up right after this. Our Shirt Shack postgame on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Coming up, we'll revisit the key stats with today's Mid-Kansas Credit Union game recap and hear from head coach Steve Warner. Crusader football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app.
Hi, this is Brett Henry, and for the past 75 years at Adams Brown Barron and Ball, we've served Kansas and America. To celebrate our 75th anniversary, we have rebranded to Adams Brown, Strategic Allies, and CPAs. For more information on our exciting changes, check out adamsbrowncpa.com and see why we are above and beyond.
Thank you, Hutch, for voting the Medicine Shop your favorite drugstore in town, and for placing the shop top 3 in customer service of all Hutchinson businesses. 2020 marks the 20th anniversary of the current Medicine Shop regime. Hutch has been so good to us. With just 1 pharmacist back in 2000 to 4 today, our growth has been amazing. We'll continue to serve our community as you continue buying local. The Hutch Medicine Shop, #1 in Hutch.
My name is Jim Remar, and I'm President and Chief Operating Officer at the Cosmosphere. Working with Phoenix Restoration was great. They were quick to respond. They were reliable. They really went out of their way to accommodate us and to do what they could to help keep our operation going while they were in there addressing the problem. As far as we're concerned, they're the best in the business.
Reno County's only locally owned fire and water restoration company is Phoenix Restoration. They'll help you rise again after your disaster. Online at phoenixrestoration.com.
Stock number T41550 down, outsigning 725 go, 84 months on approved. I saw your ad last week on the $299 Dodge Journey, and I know your goal is 100% credit approval, but how does someone with a low credit score, slow pays, or late pays get approved?
Even with no credit or bad credit, we know sometimes bad things happen to good people. At Allen Samuels, our credit rebuilding program means that you can drive a brand new vehicle at a payment you can afford. Let us help you.
Only at Allen Samuels of Hutch, 30th and Lorraine, online 24 hours a day at allensamuelshutch.com.
Allen Samuels of Hutch. Come by and let's be friends.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And welcome back. Thank you, Mr. Jim. Appreciate your hospitality. This great facility. We love coming here, and yeah, good stuff. Playoff, a lot on the line, and we'll recap the final stats here in a moment. Coverage tonight brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, and they are the sponsor of our recap Inside the Numbers tonight, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Also brought to you by Yoder Meats, Erickson Custom Building, by Isaacson Insurance, and by the Bueller Roundtable. Christopher, final numbers tonight.
All right, well, we'll take a look first at the offensive numbers for the Crusaders. We'll start off with the junior Bradley Neal. A good, efficient stat line tonight. He goes 5 of 10 for 74 yards through the air with 1 touchdown pass. And that 1 touchdown pass was to Ryan Henderson. That was the longest reception of the night for the Crusaders. He had the 1 catch for 36 yards in the TD. Dylan Coffey had 2 catches for 19 yards. Colin Rowland had 1 catch for 13. And Sam Elliott had a catch for 6 yards. On the ground individually for the Crusaders, Sam Elliott, no surprise here, 35 carries for 291 yards. And how many TDs? We were talking about this earlier.
2 tonight for Sam.
2 touchdowns for Sam Elliott. Colin Rowland had 3 carries for 17 yards and a TD. Gavin Patton had 4 carries for 24 yards. And Bradley Neal had his 1 carry for 12. And Brock McCurdy had a carry for 14 as well. Individual stat line for Rose Hill. Bryson Evans, the stud senior quarterback that we were really concerned about tonight, he goes 12 of 21 for 129 yards, 1 INT, 1 TD. Leading receiver tonight for Rose Hill was Chase Green. He had the 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Nolan was their leading rusher on the night. I have still been trying to tabulate and use my JUCO math skills, and I've not been able to get him a final total.
We need to get you a calculator with bigger buttons. That's what you...
I know. I know. A C in statistics is not paying me dividends tonight, Aaron, as I try to type as fast as I can.
All right, and the final score, 42-8. Real quickly, we will wrap it up with some other final scores in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. Let me hit refresh on my scoreboard here, and I'll tell you finals. Mac beats Augusta tonight, 52-20, so it'll be Bueller at Mac next Friday in McPherson. Big rematch. Derby over Gardner Edgerton tonight, 48-28. Miege wins 63-12 over Fort Scott. Elsewhere, Inman 50, Remington 6. The Inman Teutons moving on. Fourth quarter score. Any update? Haven Trinity Catholic, that was 20-7 last I had in the fourth.
I do have a final on that. The Haven Wildcats are going to advance to host the Beloit Trojans next week as they win the 2A Regional Championship at Father Pritchard Field tonight. 26-6 was the final. That was over on Kansas Rocks. Did get another final over on Kicks Country 106. The Hillsboro Trojans, your grandpa's beloved Trojans, tried to make a comeback. They fall, however, by 5, 25-20 to Garden Plains. So the Owls advance in the 2A playoffs on that side. Last score we have out of Cheney. Paul Maldonado out there with the call. We had Collegiate over Cheney 35-20. That can be heard on the Ad Astra Radio app. And the last score we had from the 8-man one game up at Clyde was Little River over Clifton Clyde 34-18. So the Redskins trying to advance on an 8-man one.
Yes, absolutely. Wamego 21, El Dorado 18. That was a fourth quarter score. Bishop Carroll tonight in 5A ends the season for the Hutch High Salthawks 35-28. Just looking down to see if we have any others. Others, fourth quarter score we had. Tight one, Arc City 27, Andover Central trying to come back at 21. And that is on the other side of the 4A West. Winner Wamego El Dorado will play the winner of Arc City, Andover Central next week. And, of course, we have MAC for the right to go to the semifinals on Friday night. Our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. Thank you to the great folks at Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Well, Dr. Dow Hunt, I know your family goes to Dr. Dow, just great folks up there. And, just a great guy, and we appreciate those guys. It's the second year in the row that they've helped us bring you those score updates throughout the games, which always makes for a lot of fun as we follow these other scores.
You will not find a more down-to-earth guy than Dow Hunt. I mean, he's just kind of an aw shucks character type of guy, and he makes it fun for my kids, so I always appreciate that. But good stuff tonight, fellas. A good win. Moving on. We'll get the MAC Bullpups next Friday.
Mind if we give the analytics like always?
Absolutely. Analytic away. By the way, so Tyler Adams on our Crusader Sports Network crew tonight, and Caden, no relation, Warner. No relation to the coach.
Right.
But it's going to have you on tonight, buddy. Thank you for running the camera.
Yeah, it was fun to be here. It was my first time actually streaming with Ad Astra Radio. I'm usually down on the field running around back and forth. But, it was very fun. And stream analytics, I've never really done this before, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for. But our high count for streamers was 146, so thank you to the 146 people who watched tonight total. 692 playbacks. Good stuff. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure that you untie Colton and let him out of the closet there, or out of his locker back at the high school when you guys get home tonight. So.
Absolutely, we will. We'll make sure to get him out.
Yeah, we missed Colton Hines tonight. Good stuff from those guys. Christopher, thank you. We'll see you next Friday in MacTown.
Yes, well, I get to go to McPherson tomorrow.
We got 8th grade girls basketball.
Yes, get to go in the McPherson Middle School gym. I haven't been in there since I was an 8th grader back in the old days.
Well, good luck to Coach Conklin and the Lady Crusaders tomorrow. 8th grade in MacTown.
Yep, and 7th grade there as well. So, but no, just a fun night, guys, and special thanks to all of our sponsors for helping to bring it, and you guys making it a fun night, watching a fun game.
And from Tyler Adams, good night, Mom.
Yeah, good night, Mom.
Thanks, fellas. Good stuff. We'll see you next Friday. Don't forget, Monday, our Crusader Sports Coaches Show will be live with Coach in studio Monday night at 6:30, brought to you by Taco John's and Wifco Steel Products. Monday night at 6:30. For Caden Warner, Tyler Adams, Chris Shank, Aaron West, you have a pleasant good evening. You've been listening to Crusader Football here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.